Welcome everybody as we get ready to get started. I don't know what happened to the screen, but we're back live now. So welcome to everybody that is watching the Coaches Conference. We're going to get this party started very soon. Do us a favor, if you could go ahead in the chat space and let us know what city and state that you guys are chiming in from, what city and state that you guys are chiming in from, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, look, hold on. Let me fix my headphones. We're going to have a long day, honey, if my hair is looking like that on camera. Okay, so we're not going to do. What we're not going to do. All right. So anyways, hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to everybody that is watching right now. My name is Taria Vision Avant, and this is the official Coaches Conference. Listen, we're doing this conference because I don't know about you guys, but I want to make sure that, when I'm going into this new space of growth and education and information that we're going into, guys, I want to make sure that I'm connected to the right people that are serious about what they teach, serious about helping other individuals. And so I came up with this idea of putting the Coaches Conference together, which this will not be the last, but definitely putting together some people that I know for sure are serious about the space that they are in. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Being a coach is such a reward. It's a rewarding position to be in, right? It's very rewarding, but also it's a lot of responsibility. And I think that it is so important that if you are a coach, for those of you guys who are coaches out here, that you make it your business to do the best that you possibly can with being able to impact the people that you've been assigned to impact. So with that stated, I'm going to do one thing first. I want to make sure that everybody who is watching us, you guys can hear us loud and clear. Go ahead and put your city and state in the chat. Let me shout out some of the people who are actually watching us from AirMeet. So many of you guys, just so you know, we are broadcasting on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, literally all over the place. But for those of you guys who want to win, okay, if you want to win some prizes, hello, yes, we're going to do our first giveaway in just a few minutes. But if those of you guys who want to win, you need to make sure that you are absolutely plugged in to the conference. And the way that you can plug into the conference is you need to go to thecoachescollaboration.com. Matter of fact, let me throw the flyer on the screen real quick. Thecoachescollaboration.com. I'm going to throw this flyer on the screen so you guys can see. And so you're going to go to thecoachescollaboration.com. Register there right now. Literally register right now for those watching on social media. And if you want to get some chances to win, you want to be a part of the networking experience, everything that comes along with this amazing conference, you need to go to thecoachescollaboration.com. All right. Okay. Awesome. Now, the next thing I want to do is shout y'all out. So let's see, who do we have here in the house? We have, let's see, Libby in the house. We have Dr. Oliver T. Reed. Now we need our first panel. You guys need to come over here to this link. So you need to come over here to this link, the test link that we did. Right now we only have one person on the panel that's here. I don't know where y'all at. All right. So make sure all of our first panelists, because we're about to start in a couple of minutes. So that's Patricia. You should be already on the link, the test link. That is Oliver T. Reed and Suzanne Peters. We need you guys to come on over to the back link. I see y'all in the chat. Y'all in the wrong location. Come on over here. It's time to get on the stage. All right. So let's shout out. We have Tina. Hello, Tina Young. Hello. Let's see who else. Sharon Hudgens. Hello, Tanisha from Guyana. Tanisha is chiming in from Guyana. Tina is chiming in from Silsbee, Texas. All right. That's what I'm talking about. We have Ornita chiming in from Dallas, Texas. Wanda Pearson in Kennesaw, Georgia. We have Rhonda in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I see you guys. That's what I'm talking about. So I love to see you guys chiming in. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do our very first giveaway. Are you guys ready? Let's give our first giveaway. Yes. Okay. So this is going to be our very first giveaway, okay? So we're not even gonna yet do the raffle or any of that yet. So let me just explain to you guys. For those of you who are watching in the chat, right? You're watching on AirMeet, you're in the software. One thing that you wanna do is while you guys are watching, okay, you wanna set up your profile, because right now we have what is called a leadership board, okay? And this leadership board is what is going to qualify you guys to win the prizes that we have. We're giving away a flat screen TV. A lot of you guys always compliment this microphone. We're giving away one of these microphones. We're going to be giving away a Pivo Pod. We're going to be giving away a phone stand. Those of you guys who need a nice phone stand, not the little rink-dink ones, we're going to give some phone stands. Many of our speakers also have amazing giveaways as well. So if you want to win, you gotta watch from the conference. So it means you have to be registered and you must join us. But this is what we're gonna do for every single one of you guys that are registered and you're live in AirMeet. So I just shouted some of you guys out. You're live in AirMeet. You guys are gonna walk away with a voucher. This is going to be a 3-day, 2-night hotel stay in any of the states here in the United States. So for those of you who are international, this gives you an opportunity to come on over here to the States because we have some international people watching. But this is a voucher. The way that this voucher works, ladies and gentlemen, is that we will cover the room. You just cover the taxes. All you have to do is make sure that you activate it within 30 days. So every single one of you guys that are registered and you're live and you stay until the end. Now, listen, we don't reward people who don't show up. Let me tell you something about success. Success is all about showing up for yourself. And so if you want to be able to have great things happen, you got to be willing to show up for yourself, right? So for everybody who is registered that is live here in the conference, and we are live, I just want to shout y'all out. I see you, Shay Praise CEO. I see you, Latanya. I see you, Late Night Pusher. Okay, that's a dope YouTube name. I see you guys watching. But if you want to win these prizes, you got to come on over here to register and be a part of the conference. And the link, again, as I've stated, guys, is the thecoachescollaboration.com. Thecoachescollaboration.com. All right, guys, well, we're going to get ready for our panel. We have 2 of our panelists that are on here. Don't know where the other people are, but we got to get this show started. So we're going to get rocking and rolling with today's event. So I'm going to play some commercials. And then after we get done with these commercials, y'all, we'll be right back so that you can see our panels. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, superstars? This is Taria Vision-Avant, and I work with speakers, coaches, and network marketers who are authors or future authors. They want to grow their business and want to learn how to do so by leveraging their book while also having more free time to enjoy this world. Listen, I am looking for speakers. We're looking for 20 speakers to join us for our next big event. If you're interested in walking away with the leads, if you also want to be able to make offers while you're doing your live event, as well as opportunities for you to be able to make money up front, what I need you to do is go to jointhesuccesscircle.com. Again, go to jointhesuccesscircle.com. I am looking forward to working with you. We don't just want you to just be on a stage. I want you to walk away with a ton of value as well as leads. So go to jointhesuccesscircle.com and I'll see you guys there. Deuces.
Greetings, women entrepreneurs and those in management. What is the lifetime value of confidence? Do you shy away from being visible in your business for fear of being judged, criticized, or embarrassed by your appearance? Perhaps you feel out of date, you're not at your ideal weight, or simply struggle with accessorizing. I can help. I'm Libby Jason, style expert and confidence builder for women. With my image styling services and personal development approach, I have helped hundreds of women to have more confidence, credibility, and income without shame or criticism. One woman gained 4 new clients in less than 30 days. If you'd like more information, contact me at libbyjason.com. That's libbyjason.com.
All right. So we have so many more sponsors as well that you guys are going to get a chance to meet. So make sure that you guys stay tuned. And shout out to everybody again in the chat. I see you, Moneta. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys. And listen, do us a favor. Make sure that you're chatting in the actual chat space. So there's two different chats. There's one that says messages and it has two square circles. And then the chat that you want to be in is going to be the two. I said square circles. Lord Jesus, get my life together. Two circles. And then the one that you want to be chatting in where everybody is going to be at is the two squares. Okay. So make sure that you guys actually pull up on us in that chat. And also make sure you guys are setting up your profiles. Now, the easiest way to set your profile up to get your points is going to be by clicking on your name. And then you're going to see where you can add in all of your details, add your picture, add your social media, all of those things that people can be able to connect with you with. This gets you more points. Also, if you guys like what any of the speakers are saying, you can click on the reactions that are going to be in the middle of the page. So you click on those actions, give us a heart and all that good stuff, and let us know that you're appreciating. But when you click on those reactions, it does give you points. Well, guys, let's go ahead and bring on our very first panel. I am so excited. Again, these are some incredible and amazing coaches. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know it's the multitask for it all. We have some amazing coaches, guys, that are going to be sharing their knowledge base, and you guys are going to learn a ton from them. So let's give it up for our very first panel, everybody. Let's give it up. All right. Hey, guys. So listen, I am so excited to have you guys here. One of our panelists is not here yet, but we're just going to go ahead and keep it with us three so we can get this party rocking and rolling. And as you can see, we have three beautiful and handsome faces, right? And so I am so excited to have you guys here on today. What I want you guys to do first and foremost is introduce yourself, right? So introduce yourself. Let us know what area you guys are coaching in and also what you are most excited about on what we're going to talk about on today. So I'm going to start off with one of our keynote speakers, none other than Danella Burnett. The mic is yours.
Good morning, Taria, and glad to be in this beautiful and handsome panel this morning. So I work with experts, authors, speakers, coaches, consultants who want to leverage the power of public speaking and events to grow their business, impact more people, and grow their influence. So really excited to be here today, excited to be with these amazing coaches in a wide variety of fields, because I think we're the ones that get the opportunity to help change and impact the world. And it starts with today.
Amen. It starts with today, guys. Today. And so love it. And she's definitely going to be doing some amazing stuff, guys. So just make sure y'all stay tuned. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring it over to the next beautiful young lady on the screen. And I know that she has another very unique space that she is in. So none other, actually, she actually was a recipient. So we have a program called the Author All-Stars, and she was recipient of our, Oak Tree Award. I was supposed to say the Author All-Star, but she was an Author All-Star too. But she's an Oak Tree Award. So I'm so excited to have her on. Patricia Pearson, the mic is yours.
Good morning, all. Good morning. And thank you so much, Taria. I am honored also to be a part of this panel. I am a certified business success and self-publishing coach. I help coaches, consultants, and startup entrepreneurs to turn their knowledge into multiple streams of income with planners, journals, and specialty books to grow their business. And I'm honored to be a part of this group, and I'm looking forward to all the different coaches and what they're going to be sharing as they share their expertise today.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. And I chose these panels, these specific panels based on their topics. And if you noticed, Danella's in the space with speakers. And so if you are a speaker, do me a favor, go ahead and type a 1 in the chat. And for those of you guys who are coaches or consultants and you see the power of being able to have a journal or a planner as an additional stream of income, type number 2 in the chat. But for those of you who have not even written a book, well, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my brother, Dr. Oliver T. Reed. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, Taria, on this great panel of people. I am so excited to be here today. And just want to say that I help entrepreneurs, speakers, and coaches write books about what they already do in order to leverage their field, grow client attraction, and maximize their legacy. So I'm so excited to be a part of this panel heading from Virginia today. And I do it fast. So be able to say, hey, if you don't got the time, we can definitely help you accelerate the process and come forth with a powerful result.
Well, listen, if it's one thing I believe that, all of us should be doing in the space of just entrepreneurship, in the space of leaving legacy, is number one, using our voices more. To be able to impact more people. God gave us, the opportunity to speak. And he gave us 2 ears so that we can hear more. And I think that when we learn to leverage and use our voices, it changes lives. But I also believe in leaving a legacy. I wish that my family, my parents and their parents and their parents would have left information for me so that we could learn how to be able to maneuver through these days, or even just understanding what they went through. Well, first, I want to lead this over to Danella. Now, Danella and I, we actually have a nice little bit of a history, because her and I, we met each other through the industry of multi-level marketing. Now, at the time, Danella also had a very, very busy business already established in the event spaces, where she was doing a ton of different things in events. I know she had catering. She also set it up for you, honey. And now she has transitioned with helping individuals to get on more stages. Danella, what I would like to know from you is, how is it that let me say it like this. How is it that you are helping people, specifically those who are coaches and speakers, to get on those stages? Tell us a little bit about your program.
Well, my business really has been an evolution, like the event space has been. And we transitioned from personal and nonprofit and municipality and corporate events about 8 years ago to more directly impact the expert and enrollment space. And when I say enrollment, that is what you all as business owners, you're enrolling people into your programs and packages and services. Well, there's events that lead to greater enrollment. And many times they're, 1 day and 3 day events. And when you are hosting your own event, you are a speaker. So we were working with event hosts and matching speakers when there was an opportunity to have a subject matter expert or an outside speaker or a collaborator. And speakers were coming back to us and saying, that was great. Can I have another? I'd love that perfect match to the stage in front of an aligned audience, and the ability to leverage my time and speak to many people rather than just speaking one-to-one, like networking or referrals. And in 2019, we figured out how we could help speakers get out not only on the events we were producing, but on other people's stages and events as well. So since 2019, we've been helping speakers get out on more stages. We know there was a big shift in 2020, and many of those stages became virtual. And that's really good news for you. And I'm going to get to talk about that in a little bit more detail in my bigger talk later in this program. But if you want to get out in front of new people and share your message, enroll people into your products and services, I don't think there's a better way to do that than to step out onto the stage and leverage other people's events, just like I'm doing here, or even host your own event so that you can directly impact those people you're meant to serve.
Listen, Danella, you speak in my language too, where you said even hosting your own event. I believe that, for many of us, we are waiting on other people to say, hey, listen, come be on my event, come be a part of my event. But there's also a huge opportunity with learning how to put together your own events and creating tables for other people. I had said this thing a long time ago. I like to bring tables to tables. That means opportunities to opportunities. And so I definitely, I first want to thank you so much for even trusting in this particular event and being one of our keynote speakers. And so you guys are going to get a treat from Danella. She's actually next. So listen, and those of you guys who are watching, again, I want to stress, y'all go to the coaches. I keep putting the coaches conference. Lord Jesus. It's the coaches collaboration. I'm going to have to purchase that domain right now if it's available so I can afford it. But go to the coachescollaboration.com to register. I'll fix that. But guys, I am so thrilled because we also have a young lady who is in the space of specialty books. So when we think of specialty books, we think of all types of different things that are not of the normal realm, like, you know, the self-help, the memoirs, the biographies, the storybooks. Patricia, if you could give us an explanation of what you mean by a specialty book, and if somebody is looking to work with you, typically who is your ideal client and how are you servicing them? Are you helping them write the whole thing, or like are you, you know, telling them what to do and coming with you? So Patricia, the mic is yours.
Be a cookbook, it could be a coloring book, it could be a planner or a journal. Specialty books, sometimes it's a customized book that the actual coach puts together themselves. I have a process, I call it my 3 Ps to publishing profit map. I use that by creating the product, then we power up, and then we begin to profit up. We help coaches, and I work mostly with coaches, and worked with authors as well as speakers. And what happens is they can turn this product, if it's a planner or journal, into an additional product to support their programs that they already have. Um, and I think that was the answer to your question.
Well, I would like to know, like, what is the process? So, like, are they coming with you with something already designed, or like, are you working with them from scratch? Because I have a lot of people that do come and say, "Hey, I want to have this journal and stuff," and maybe they just don't know what to do to get started.
I actually work with them from scratch. We have that's where the coaching comes in. We have uh, several coaching sessions prior to even starting the planner or journal. So we find out who their target audience is, what problem they're solving, and what the solution is going to be. We put all of that into play before we even start the journal. So we go from beginning to end.
Absolutely. So listen, there's no excuse. And let me tell you something. On top of having a journal, which is big money, which by the way, you could charge 40, 50. I've seen people charge $100 for journals, right? On top of having that, you leverage that journal when you're on these stages, guys. Do you see how we're all kind of synergizing together? And then next we have Dr. Oliver T. Reed, who literally helps you put that entire book. I'm going to tell you, my life changed, Dr. Reed, when I became an author. And at the time, I was actually in network marketing, and I was looking for ways to actually grow my business and position myself as an expert. So I wrote that book, and honey, what I tell you, like if I had the sound effect for a heaven door opening, that's what it felt like. And so let's go ahead and talk about why is it important, especially for those watching right now, that they actually become a self-published author on today.
Yeah, it's one of the things I always say. When you write the book on what you already do, you put yourself in another category. And if you're a business owner and you're watching the stream and you don't have a book, you're not only leaving money on the table, but you're leaving opportunities to get in front of people that have never met you way ahead of time. And so one of the things that is powerful with that is that your book goes before you even get there, and it opens the door and unlocks it. Like you were talking about, Tarea, about how the book changed your whole life and your whole, business strategy. The book kind of gives people a snapshot. And speaking to what Daniela said, if you're speaking and you don't have a book, you're missing sales in the back of the room, or people to invest in you, to rebook you, to repurpose you in so many different ways. And so when the purpose of getting that book out of your head onto the pages is not only legacy, but it also creates multiple streams of income, because you can actually use that book to speak as well, but you can also use it to get in front of academic crowds, get in type of places where you can leverage the field. And not only leverage the field, I believe a book allows you to take over. So you could
Mhm.
actually go into that space and really rock and roll, and really, like I said, get many other leads. It's like an introduction. I've been booked so many times and I haven't even had time to look for speaking engagements because my books that concentrate on what I do opens up doors like this, opens up doors that people don't even know my name, but they got my book first. So it is not only a new business card, like people like to say, but I say it is also a new deposit. You get to plant your book in a vending machine all over the world where people can kind of Google you and you have the answer and solution to what they need that's already binded inside of a book.
Amen. Amen. As the queen of book profiting myself, I am such a big advocate for having yourself with the proper book, also having additional streams of income like your planners and your journals, and on top of that, leveraging your voice and getting on those stages. Well, listen, it's now time to go ahead and let people know. And by the way, this is also the celebration of the Coaches Collaboration book. So again, for those of you who are watching on social media, we're going to be doing another giveaway. Now, I will tell you this. Y'all got to get your points up because you got to have a certain number of points in order to qualify. So make sure that you are typing in the comment space. Make sure you go ahead and set up your profile. And please make sure you give us some hearts, thumbs up, and all those emojis. Well, really quick, guys, how can individuals... Well, Danella, I'm going to let you wait because you're about to do your signature talk with us. But I'm going to go ahead and bring on Patricia so she can share with everybody how can they get in contact with her.
You can get in contact with me by going to my website, which is CoachPatPearson.com. If you'd like to set up a free session, you can go to PatFreeSession.com.
Thank you, guys. So PatFreeSession.com. Make sure that you go check up or check her out. And Dr. Reed, how can we get in contact with you?
Yes, they call me the milk guy. So you can actually go to either Dr. Oliver T. Reed Fully Branded on all social media platforms, or you can go to www.milkwriting.system.com.
Okay, because he's milking in the money. All right, so look. So guys, really quick, because I do want to find out if you guys have any raffles that you're going to be adding to this amazing giveaway day. So Danella, did you have anything that you were going to be offering, or Coach Pat? Or Oliver, are y'all going to be offering anything? If so, let me know what it is.
I have a planner, a free planner that we can give away.
Okay, love it. Because we all need planners, okay? And anybody else? If not, that's okay. Because they are going to be doing some breakout workshops. Yes.
Yeah, I've got several things I'm going to share when I do my keynote, but we have another book coming out. I'm so excited. This is a 2-for month. I get the Coach's book coming out this month, but also volume 2 of Visibility, our collaborative book in our speakers community. So I would love to put a chapter of the new Visibility book, or a copy of the new Visibility book in our audience's hands.
Yes, nice. Yep. Okay, you see how I put them on the spot too? Because then they would look bad if they'd be like, I don't got nothing to give away. All right, and Dr. Reed, what you got?
I got it. I'm going to give away a free copy of Writing Over Spilled Milk. So it is a process that helps people who haven't written the book yet. It's a book to get it out of your head onto the pages so you can milk the money, like Taria was saying.
Yes, milk that money. Well, listen, it has been a pleasure having you guys. Later on, they're going to be doing some breakout workshops as well, guys. So you have to stay until the end so that you can get the details on how to join these workshops. Trust me, guys, you don't want to miss the workshops. So if you are here on a Saturday and you're not doing anything that is designed to increase your bottom line, guys, don't miss this opportunity. 90% of success is showing up. So we'll see you guys on the breakout. They're going to be in the chat as well. So make sure that you connect with them. Send them a private message if you want to learn more about what they do. Hit them up over in the air meet, okay? So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. I got to give y'all a round of applause. Yes. All right. So guys, so that was our first panel. What an incredible panel. And let me check out the comments because we're about to get ready for our next keynote. But let me see what you guys are saying here over in the comments. Let's see here. We have Tanesia out of Guyana who says, yes, Dr. Reed, I hear you and I'm on it right away. Tina says, I'm doing a virtual event June 10th. free to the public. So make sure y'all pull up. Wanda says, great sharing to the panel. Great sharing to the panel. Thank you. Livy says, thanks, Pat. Wanda with the hearts. Simone, ha, ha, ha. I don't know what the ha, ha, ha. It must, because I know I'm part-time a stand-up comedian. So I'm pretty sure it was something I said. But anyways, listen. So for those of you who are just joining in as well on the conference, make sure that you go ahead and connect, set up your profile. The way that you could do it is when you type in the chat, it's the easiest way is type in the chat and then click on your name and you'll see where you can finish up, because right now our leadership board, the points ain't where they need to be pointing. We need everybody to get up to 150 points. Okay, you get 100 points just for showing up. So go ahead and set up your profiles, guys. Set up those profiles so that we can do these giveaways. Remember, we're giving away a flat screen TV today. We're giving away microphones. We're giving away books and journals. We're giving away a ton of stuff, but you must be registered and joining us here in the chat. So please make sure you do that as we calculate these points. Those who have 150 points or more will automatically be qualifying themselves to enter to win one of these amazing giveaways. Okay. Well, listen, guys, again, I'm just so excited about this incredible keynote. And real quick, as I get ready to prepare, and I want to shout out those of you guys who are also watching on social media. I see Rebecca and Lawrence, and then I'm about to mess your name up, so I'm going to call you S. Mr. S, I appreciate you as well. Listen, y'all that are watching on social, come over here to thecoachescollaboration.com so that you can be a part of the chat and be a part of the giveaways. But, I'm going to tell you, this young lady that we're getting ready to bring up to do this keynote, as I shared just a little bit, that we had an opportunity to work together several years ago. And just an amazing woman. And I'm so excited because, she has definitely been able to turn her experiences, her background into something that has now produced a high, if not even a high six, already multi-million-dollar business. I already know she already had a multi-million-dollar business in the event space. And now she is taking all of her expertise and helping those speakers get booked to be on more stages. And so today she's going to be keynoting. I know that she's going to be sharing her screen, so we'll just kind of figure that out as we go come on here. But I am so excited, guys. Let's give it up for this author, speaker, coach, and on top of that, mother, wife, sister. I mean, listen, when I tell you titles on titles on titles, y'all, none other than Danella Burnett. Let's give it up.
So excited to be here. And yes, Taria and I have known each other for a long time. We actually met in a network marketing company. And I love network marketing companies when you can still brand yourself. And that was something that she and I both did in that network marketing company. I still had my own business, but I loved those products and brought them into my world and actually still drink the coffee, drinking it right now. But when you're growing your business and we've all had to make adaptations over the last several years. As a business owner, that's something that you'll consistently do. What's working? What do I want to do more of? What do I need to do less of? How is the world changing? How am I changing? How is the audience that I'm meant to serve changing? And one of the best ways for you to make changes and consistently grow your business at the same time is to get out there and speak to your audience, speak to the people that you're meant to serve. And I'm going to share a little bit about my background with you, because speaking was not something that I was comfortable doing. In fact, I give a lot of credit to that network marketing company for giving me the confidence to get out onto bigger stages and really share from my heart and share what I have to offer and get results. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And as Taria said, we're going to roll with it a little bit. Hopefully this will, I don't want to share my screen that I'm on. So here we go. This should work great. Hold on one second. This is a new platform, but I love it All right. So I should be sharing. Let me just get a thumbs up in the chat. Are you all seeing gigs, guaranteed income, guaranteed sales in front of you? Let me just get a couple of hearts in the chat. I'm looking over here to see you guys and your reactions.
We are good to go.
Excellent. Excellent. Good, good, good. So, what I love about taking the stage and getting gigs is I really do believe, as a business owner today, this is one of the best ways that you can guarantee your income and guarantee your sales. And I'm going to explain why I think that's possible. But first, I want to make sure I'm speaking to the right audience. Do you feel like what you do is of excellent quality? Meaning, I have experience and I know I'm meant to take that experience out to the world. Or I have knowledge and I'm meant to take that out to the world. I'm a coach. I've been through a process. I have a process and I'm ready to take that out into the world. And I know it's good quality. This is good stuff that's going to help other people. If that's you, let me see some love and some hearts and some chat. Yep, you guys are like, that's me. And how many of you are passionate about doing it? Meaning you're willing to do the work, you're willing to put in the hours, you've already put in the hours. And when you connect with those people you're meant to serve, you're in it with them and you're excited and you're good. I know that's many of you here. But how many of you also feel sometimes like you're the best kept secret? Like you just don't know how to get in front of those people that you're meant to serve. You're not seeing the income that you want to. Your passion and your excellence don't exactly equal the bank account that you think that it should. Well, I think that speaking in events are the best two strategies for you being seen, being heard, and getting paid. And the reason I get to share this is exactly what I do and exactly how I've grown my own business. It's exciting. You see that first book there in the image, peeking out from the back, Multiple Streams of Income. That was actually the very first book that I did with Taria. It came out this month, 7 years ago. So for the last 7 years, books and speaking and getting out through the power of events is exactly what I've done in my own business and what I recommend for you. I've been in the event space actually since I was 9, and I found Julia Child on television, started working with a friend of the family who was a caterer when I was 15, and have gone on to produce events from 25 people to 250,000 people through hospitality and event and speaker strategies. My first business that I started in 2008 here locally in Georgia, Oakwood Occasions, a local event planning and catering company. And then since then, we've added and grown. We rebranded to Encore Elite Events in 2017 to represent our more national and now global impact in the event space. We added Lanier Tent Rental, a multi-million-dollar tent and event rental company. We also, as I shared earlier, started working with speakers and helping them get out on more stages, specifically helping them leverage the stage. My dog, as you might hear in the background, also loves to speak when I'm speaking. So hopefully she'll come down. I think the mailman just left something at the door. And then we've added another new service called speakergigs.com. One more way of connecting events and speakers so that you can make an impact. Now, you might notice a big change in our trajectory since 2017, and I'm going to explain to you what happened to make that change and create that momentum. Before that, you might feel like this some days, like you're growing your business, but you're just pushing a boulder uphill. Anybody ever feel that way when you're sitting in your office and you're doing everything that you can to grow your business and you're seeing successes, but it just feels hard sometimes? Anyone else ever feel that way? Yep, I'm seeing in the chat. So I'm glad I'm not alone. This was really how I felt from 2008 to about 2016. Like we had a good business. We had a multiple high six-figure business, but it just felt heavy and hard. We did a lot of our growth through networking and through referrals, and the phone rang quite often. But the challenge with networking and referrals is you can't really count on when that phone is going to ring. I couldn't count on when is Taria going to refer me to someone else? When is Lisa Bliss is a great friend of mine. She's on here as well, given me many referrals through the years. But I don't know when Lisa's going to think of me to share me with someone else, or that opportunity is going to come up. So the phone rang, but I didn't know until it did. It wasn't something I could predict or I could count on. Same thing with networking. You're going to networking events and you're shaking hands, but it's really kind of, just a game of chance. Are you connecting with that one person at the right time? And so I realized I was going to have to step up to the mic. I was working with clients who were making six figures, sometimes multiple six figures in a weekend, producing their events. And they were doing it because they were stepping up to the mic. They were stepping up to the mic with their own events. They were stepping up to the mic on other people's events and speaking to many people at the same time. So rather than networking one-on-one, they were networking to a whole room full of people at the same time, sharing their valuable content, sharing how they could connect. And then the right people in that audience are simply raising their hand and saying, I want more. I want to continue this conversation. Much more effective for growing your business in a predictable way. You can look at your calendar as I do now, and I look at, when am I speaking? Where am I speaking? And I know when my business is going to grow. So from 2017 till 2020, this is very much what life looked like. Running events, stepping onto the stage, growing the business, adding more speakers to our speaker services. Some of these faces you might even recognize. And sometimes I'm on the stage. Sometimes I'm in the back right corner of the room, as I like to say, is the place for the event producer. In January of 2020, I actually had my very own first 3-day event. Speakers Need to Speak. When we launched that program, and we had 14 clients that said yes during that event in January of 2020. Now, we all know what happened in March of 2020, and it was a little scary for a moment, but the exciting thing is, speaking now looks like this as well. It looks like what we're doing today. And this is good news for you, because whether a speaking stage looks like this for you, or it's back to stepping onto a stage in person, you have the ability to impact audiences locally and globally and grow your business very, very predictably, so that you can make impact, you can grow your influence, and you can make massive income. Is everyone here okay with massive income? Because I'm going to talk about some money, and I just want to make sure that you guys are here on a Saturday morning and okay to make some extra income. Awesome. If speaking at events is the answer, and there are many more opportunities to speak than there've ever been before, why do so many speakers need help? Why is that such a requested service? Why do speakers and business owners need help? Well, we think that some of the problems are virtual is the speed of fast, and that is part of the challenge, but I'm going to talk about that and how to solve it. We think that the environment is loud. How do we get ourselves noticed? Why choose us over someone else? We're going to talk about how to overcome that challenge as well. And then the challenge that we all have, time. There's only so many hours in the day for us to dedicate to growing our business, getting out on stages, doing our other forms of marketing, doing the accounting, doing the services that we provide to our clients. So time is of the essence, both how to get out on stages, but also how to do everything else in our business. So that's what we think the problems are. But I want to dive in a little bit today on what are the real problems and real challenges, and how are we going to solve them for you to grow your business through speaking and events. Well, the first challenge is a lot of speakers don't know where they should speak. Well, I'm going to give you some good news. There's more speaking opportunities than ever before. Part of the reason for this is we now have things like social media live shows where you can be seen and be heard, programs that didn't even really exist just a few short years ago. Things like Clubhouse creating social audio programs, people creating programs in their Facebook and in their Facebook groups or on LinkedIn. So this is good news for you, more speaking opportunities. We've seen an explosion of podcasts, both hosting your own podcast, which is creating your own stage, as well as opportunities to be a guest in other aligned podcasts. We don't see podcasts slowing down at all. You now have the option of virtual, in-person, or even hybrid events where you get an audience both in front of you live as well as through live stream. You have a choice of whether you want to stay local, impact global. If you want to travel, you have more choices than ever before, and that's good news for you as a speaker. Challenge number 2 is that all gigs are not created equal. You want to make sure that you're speaking in the right place and the right kind of opportunity to get the results that you're looking for. So whether you're looking to grow your database, you're looking for an immediate cash injection, or you're looking to grow your influence, you want to make sure that you're in a speaking opportunity that's going to get you those results. So there's 4 ways that you're going to get paid from the stage, and I think you should get paid every single time you take the stage. Because if you're not getting paid with speaking, you're just talking, and talk is cheap. Let me hear it in the chat. I'm not cheap. I'm going to get paid. So you can get paid first with a keynote or a paid talk. Many times this is going to be working with a corporation or a university or an association. Great way to get paid for your content. You're going to get that check up front. You're probably not going to get a great promotional opportunity, but you're going to get paid first. The second way is to get paid during your talk. That's where you're making a direct offer to the audience to invite them to take out a credit card and do business with you immediately. Buy tickets to your upcoming event, enroll in your program, buy your course, buy your book. You're going to get paid during the talk and actually ask for the transaction and get the cash injection during your talk. This can be some of the most lucrative hours in your business. In fact, I once made $42,000 in 1 hour from one stage. How many of you would like to make $42,000 in an hour sharing your valuable content? I know for me, that was an amazing cash injection. And I've gone on in my 3-day events. I typically will do $100,000 to $300,000 in just a weekend through 3-day events. So speaking where you're getting paid during your talk can be incredibly lucrative. One of the challenges is you often have to pay for that opportunity if it's on someone else's stage. You're paying them to gather your audience and that opportunity for you to be able to sell. Sometimes you're going to pay in a sponsorship. Other times it might be a revenue share where you're sharing the fruits of that hour with the event producer. So great way for a cash injection into your business. The third is getting paid after. And this is probably the most common type of speaking opportunity today, where you're going to share your valuable content. You're going to give tips and tools and tactics, and you're going to give the audience an opportunity to enter into a conversation after your time on the stage. You're going to collect leads, and there's many ways to collect those leads digitally as well as in person. You can collect business cards, use QR codes, text, URLs, but you're going to collect their information so that you can continue the conversation, and the sale will come after, either in a sales conversation or by inviting them to your event, or through email marketing. And then there's getting paid more. I always like to bring this up because sometimes you want to get out on a stage, you want to speak on a platform because it elevates you by being able to borrow the credibility and the authority of that stage or by the other speakers there. If there's somebody bigger in your industry and you can step onto that stage because you're seen together, that power of proximity, you can actually borrow their authority. And by raising your own influence, that's where you start to get paid more. When people see you everywhere and your programs and your products are selling and filling up, and you can start to raise your prices. So before, during, after, and more, you can get paid from the stage. Challenge number 3 is that we found that speakers didn't have a system for consistently getting on stages. We all know that consistency is a key strategy for growing your business. The reason we created Speakers Need to Speak in 2019 and started providing services is when I've really looked at the challenge. Why were speakers coming to us and saying, "Can I get another stage? Can you help me?" I looked at what their challenges were and how we could solve for them. And I found that most speakers have what I call the roller coaster method of filling their calendar. And that's looking at the calendar. Oh my goodness, I don't have that many speaking opportunities. What am I going to do? And they start reaching out. They use some of our tips for getting booked on stages and doing it themselves. And they put a couple gigs on the calendar. And then they stop and they start taking care of clients and doing all the other things that you need to do in business. And the reason I call that a roller coaster is, when you get on a roller coaster and you're like, it's pulling you up that first big hill and it's kind of like chug, 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 and you're doing the work. Then you get to the top and you stop doing the work and you start coasting and you're going fast and it feels great. And from those original speaking gigs, you're now working with some clients, but you stopped doing the work to put more gigs on your calendar. And if you've ever noticed, a roller coaster is a lot of up and down, but it brings you right back to where you originally started. You're not actually moving ahead. I want you as a speaker to put gigs on your calendar consistently in what I like to call the train method. And that is doing the work on a regular basis to fill your calendar, using our tools, using our tactics, using our services so that your calendar is full months in advance with a consistent number of speaking opportunities, getting in front of new audiences so that you can grow. And for most of you, I'm going to recommend that you have 2 to 6 speaking opportunities a month. That's going to put you out in front of new audiences. It's going to give you the opportunity to grow your business. And less than 2, you're probably not in front of enough new people. More than 6, you might be in front of so many new people that you've now got another challenge, and that's follow up. So you want to find that right number of people that you're in front of every month on a regular basis so that you're consistently bringing in sales, you're consistently bringing in new leads, and you are growing your business. Challenge number 4, I'm going to go through this really quickly because we're going to go through this in depth at our upcoming event that I'm going to tell you about. And that's how speakers show up. How do you show up when you're applying for a speaking opportunity and an event producer is making a decision between you and someone else? You want to make sure that your talk titles, everything is going to get you the gig. Now, this is kind of these are some recent talk titles that have been shared with me by speakers who want to get the gig. Purpose and passion. It sounds cute, but it doesn't tell me anything about what that speaker is going to be sharing on. Another speaker told me that their talk title was clarity. Well, it's a cute name, but it doesn't really tell me. There was no tagline behind it. There was nothing more to tell me, what does clarity mean? You've made up a word, but I have no context for what you're going to bring to the stage. Another recent speaker told me their talk title was inhale 1, exhale 1. None of these really told me what that speaker was going to bring to the table that we were going to then serve our audience. So when you're getting in front of event producers, you want to make sure that you are clear, that you are selling yourself to the event producer so that they know what you're going to bring to their stage. You want to make sure that you come across as interesting. You're showing the benefits that the audience is going to receive and the event producer is going to receive by having you on their platform. You want to make sure that all of your materials are attractive and professional and speak to the expert that you are, that your speaker one sheets clearly state who you are and the benefit that you bring to the table. And again, this was just a really quick overview on you showing up as the speaker and expert that you are, because I want you to join me at an event next month. This is the way that we're going to continue the conversation. You can use the QR code that you see in front of you, or you can go to Danella360.com. There you're going to see a button that says gifts. And I want you to go to the gifts, and I've got some free gifts for you there today. One is our Speakers Crush It from the Stage checklist. How would you like to be prepared and positioned and ready to be profitable from any stage that you take? Well, you can do that with our checklist. So whether it's in person, virtual, whether you're selling from the stage, you're lead generating from the stage, there are tips and a checklist for you to be ready for that stage each and every single time. But I also want to offer you another opportunity. We have a 3-day event coming up next month called Visibility. It's April 20th through the 22nd. And I'm going to invite you to go ahead, buy a ticket for that event today. It's $97. But if you buy that $97 ticket, I'm going to upgrade you for free to VIP. So you're going to get recordings. You're going to get our amazing visibility swag, which alone is worth over $97. But you're also going to get some added benefits during the event, some extra time with our experts, and a very, very fun entertainment night only for our VIPs. During that 3-day event, we also have our speakers competition. You're going to get the opportunity to speak at my event about your expertise. And last November, when we did this most recently, we had over $100,000 in cash, gigs, and prizes for that speakers competition. We're still collecting all the prizes. I think we're going to do at least that much again. So how would you like to be in the running for $100,000 in cash, gigs, and prizes for you being a speaker, sharing about those things that you're passionate about, and in an event where you're going to learn more about being a speaker, about getting good, getting gigs, getting clear, getting paid, and getting events. I'm going to be teaching for 3 days, as well as bringing in incredible experts to help you grow your business. And then you're going to have the opportunity to speak on my stage, share your expertise with my audience, share a call to action, a way that they can connect with you. And I'm going to give you all of that opportunity and the upgrade to VIP just for getting a $97 ticket to our 3-day virtual event called Visibility, April 20th through the 22nd. So how many of you am I going to see there at Visibility next month? And real quick, challenge number 5, because I want to give you even more value, is mistakes that speakers make going for the gigs. Now, I'm going to go into this in depth at the event because you want to know, what are the pitfalls? What are the things that you want to avoid doing so that you get the gigs and you stay profitable? And actually, I'm looking at the time. I believe we're getting close. So I'm going to just go through this quick. You're going to have to get all of the details at the Visibility event. But you want to make sure that you're not diving too far into the deep end of the speaker's pool. You're making all the money in the shallows first, and we'll talk about what that means. You want to make sure that you have connections to the events where you're going to be speaking, and you're doing your research so that you can be better and make more money every time you speak. You want to make sure that you're talking to strangers at the right time, but you're not talking to strangers you don't need to. There are speaking opportunities within the networks and the groups that you already know. You want to make sure that you're not wasting time going down rabbit trails on social media or on Google, but you're actually getting speaking opportunities effectively and in a time efficient manner. And you want to make sure that when you're using some of our tools like Google to find speaking opportunities, you have the right map or GPS to do that quickly. I'm going to go in detail to my sale method of using Google to find speaking opportunities. So I believe that's all my time with us here today. To get more information on all of the things that I shared with you today, you're going to want to come to the visibility event. I think I've stopped sharing my screen.
Sorry, Danella, you actually have a few more minutes. So, yeah, you got about
I'd
15.
love to open it up for some questions then.
Oh, well, sure. Well, let's do it like this then. So, I'm going to bring us up together, Danella and I. Yes. So that was, first of all, let's give it up for Danella Barnett. Danella, I love what you're doing, and it's definitely a need. Shucks, I think you can remember the journey of when I decided to go into the space of coaching full time, and just what I had to experience with really positioning myself to get booked on more stages, even booking myself. Well, we came from a company where we were used to working like crazy, right? I don't like to say work like a dog, because my dog don't do no work. So anyways, he does nothing. But we come from...
Your dog is, I know your dog. Your dog is one of the most spoiled dogs on the planet. So you're exactly right.
Look, Danella, they have this audio on TikTok where it's like, play these different sounds for your dog and see what they do. I'm playing it. He's just like, no movement. Anyways, okay, back to what I was stating is that we came from a company, and I won't say necessarily industry, because I think the way that we operated in our company was very unique. We did meetings every day. We did calls every day. We did three-way calls every day. So working hard for us was never a challenge, right? It was never difficult to understand. However, when you do transition into the space where it is literally all you by yourself, you are responsible, it's different. And so I will say, what would you say for many people that are transitioning? Maybe they're transitioning out of network marketing. Maybe they're transitioning out of corporate. What are some of the things that you see many of your clients that come to you for assistance that they're kind of dealing with, even if it's mentally? Like, what have you experienced?
Well, when you're a coach or you're a business owner, whether coaching is your service or you're creating a product, when you're a business owner, you have to have that motivation that comes from within. Because when you're working for someone else and you're collecting a paycheck, obviously there's a motivation factor that they have. They're giving you a job, they're telling you what time to show up, and in exchange, they're giving you some money. Whether it's a lot of money or not, you know that that's coming, every second Friday or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. When it's you, that means you've got to have that motivation from within, and that can be a challenge. And I think the only way to get over that challenge is to put yourself in an environment where that motivation inside of you is getting fed out, from the people around you, from the books that you read. So I think that one of the things that you just have to put yourself in a place where know that you by yourself and the you that you are today is probably not going to be all that you need forever. Mm-hmm. You need to feed You need to feed that environment inside of you, because you're not going to have a boss who's telling you what you need to do. You need to tell yourself what to do, and you need to get that encouragement and motivation. And I know for me, it's the books that I read, it's the podcasts that I listen to, it's the events that I go to, it's surrounding myself by other people. If you try to do business ownership in a bubble
Ooh.
by yourself, it gets really hard. And honestly, you probably won't succeed. So get out of your own way enough to let other people come in to feed you. Obviously, I think you should have a coach. I think you're crazy to not reach out to that person who can guide you, who can show you what pitfalls are ahead, who can see the bigger picture of you. So it's the coach that you get, it's the books that you read, but don't try to do it alone. That's probably the biggest mistake that I see, is the person, and especially now in virtual, that's just sitting in a bubble by themselves, because it's great when your mood is up, but you're human. There's going to be times your mood isn't up. You don't want to get out of bed. You'd rather stay in bed and pull the covers up, or watch TV all day, or you get on social media. Next thing you know, you're watching cat videos, and you've, wasted away half the day. You know, some help to get out of that is always needed.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Danella, when we went through the whole demic that took place, everybody was working from home. And so I remember being in that space. Literally, I was telling someone the other day, because, you're in Georgia, where Georgia didn't really shut down, and neither did Texas, right? I didn't know this, though. I didn't know that Houston was wide open. So I literally spent an entire year by myself. I felt like I was going crazy. Seriously. Like, Crown was so sick of me talking to him. I was waiting for the day for him to respond. But I'm glad that you said that, because one of the things I did immediately, well, no, I didn't, because I moved to Atlanta and I got a nicer apartment to be in a better environment, but I was working from home. And I had to physically change my environment when I worked, because I found myself getting into a space of comfortability, right? And so I think it's very important that we understand that our environment, we're not telling everybody, maybe you go get an office space, but you do got to be in the right spaces. So I make sure I go to conferences where there are people who are inspiring me. The conferences that cost me $2,000, $3,000. See, a lot of us, we want to go to these events where it's $99 and we think we done invested. No. We're talking about $2,000, $5,000, so you can sit in the VIP. Invest in yourself. Speaking of investing in yourself, Danella, I know that you are one of our investors here. You're a partner. By the way, every single one of you guys are going to be contacted that's registered. So I know Danella's going to hook you guys up with some goodies, right? Everybody that is registered for this conference, Danella's going to be reaching out to you and hooking y'all up with some additional goodies, okay? But Danella, what is your belief in investing, especially in the speaking space? Me, I personally look at this as a partnership, and when done right, it can turn into a nice reward. Hey, puppy. So, girl,
Hello.
if Crown was here too, I would let them hear each other so they could bark at each other. But what is your belief in investing in yourself to speak on stages, investing in yourself to be in certain rooms? How do you feel about that?
Well, I do think that there's a lot. I hear sometimes, I'm a natural born speaker. Okay, you are a natural born talker.
Let me mute my-
Is a natural born speaker. Like, speaking to get a result takes some skill, it takes some knowledge, it takes a plan for how you're going to move an audience to get to a certain result. Whether it's them sharing their contact information, them taking out their credit card, or a company that's paying you to speak. Like, speaking is a skill that you need to hone. The majority of people that I know need speaking coaching. And it may be how to craft your talk, it may be how to take your talk and turn it into better speaking to sell. But most people need some help and support in how to get the results that they're looking for from the stage. Now, it's great if you're more comfortable, more naturally. I will tell you, I was not comfortable naturally on the stage. When I first started speaking at networking groups, I didn't realize that you had to continue breathing while you spoke. So at about minute 2, minute 3, I was hyperventilating a little bit. My voice would crack a bit, and if I went on and it was a 5 or 10 minute talk, I was a little blue around the edges by the time I was getting to the end. I stepped up and paid for speaking coaching in 2017 because I knew I could talk, but I didn't really get results when I spoke. I was starting to speak more frequently in that network marketing company, but I was speaking on someone else's information. When I needed to speak about my own information, growing my own business, I needed some help and support, how to best position myself, how to highlight what we did so that audiences would go, or the right number of people in an audience would go, hey, I want more of what she's got. So I invested, and my very first investment in speaking coaching was $39,000. Now, at that time, that was a ton of money. That is a ton of money anytime, $39,000. And I remember it was a year-long program. And I remember saying to my husband, I think this is what I'm supposed to do next. And he said, can you afford that? And I said, well, if I don't pay myself for 6 months. At that time, we had a multiple 6-figure business, and I was probably bringing home myself. I was able to keep about $80,000 to $100,000 of that. So a $39,000 investment was about half of what I was likely to make. But I knew if I didn't make that investment, I was probably never going to make more than that. And $80,000 to $100,000 a year is not a bad living, but that is not where I aspired to be. So I made that investment, and I've continued to make investments like that when I see that there's something that I don't have now, but there's somebody who can help me get there faster. I don't have to hit my own head against a brick wall. I can listen to somebody who tells me how they got over or around or through a brick wall. I don't have to go through each of them myself. So I've invested not only in coaching, but now I invest heavily in speaking opportunities. That opportunity I shared where I made $42,000, I invested in that stage. That was a sponsorship. Now, that's probably one of the highest sponsorships I've ever paid. I actually paid nearly $17,000 for that opportunity, but $17,000 to make 42. Does anyone think that's good math? Because that 42 is what I made in the hour, in the connections that I made, and the leads I collected during that event. Over the next 30 to 60 days after that event, we doubled that amount.
Come on.
And so that $17,000 investment actually made nearly $80,000. Now, I don't think everyone needs to spend that kind of money, and you certainly don't start there. I mean, I asked the right questions. I knew that audience. I knew my offer was aligned, but I frequently spend $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 to have the opportunity to speak in front of audiences that I know are my people. Makes sense to me.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Danella. That was such a great amount of information. And I know that everybody that is watching right now, and I'm sure you're going to follow up with everybody as well. I'll send you the list so that you can message them before the end of the conference. But everybody that is watching is going to get an opportunity to take advantage of that offer that she offered you guys. I mean, a free VIP upgrade. Let me tell you something. I am the type of person, I never miss an event. We learned this in the industry. We never miss an event that we are qualified for. And qualified means anything that you can make happen. And so thank you so much, Danella. I appreciate you. And I am so excited for everything that we're going to be doing. And of course, this book, I know that you are definitely a woman standing by what it is that you do and truly out here helping other individuals. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, everybody, that was amazing. Danella was phenomenal. Listen, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, right? So listen, do me a favor. All of you guys that are watching on social media, you need to come over here to the link right now. Let me put it in the chat. Well, I'm going to put it in on the text right now so that you guys can register. www.thecoachescollaboration. I think I saw somebody said, I didn't get an email about this. I'm telling you now, come over here. We got tons of people that are over here joining us live so that you guys can get a chance to win. For those of you guys who want Danella's information, you want to be a part of that event or anything else that she has, you need to register, y'all. Go to thecoachescollaboration.com. Right there. And do me another favor. You know, this is one thing I'm a big believer. I believe that how you sow is how you reap. Danella said something as well. I caught it at the beginning. And a lot of times, you know, I feel like when it comes to the space of referring business and things of that nature, a lot of times we don't necessarily always know who to refer, how to refer, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, let's just be honest. I didn't know to refer anybody, or I didn't know, you know what I mean? And so what I've come to learn is that what you ask for, you got to ask for it, right? Sometimes you got to be willing to ask for those things. And I'm asking every single one of you guys, those of you that are watching live in the conference, those of you guys who are watching on social media, can you do me a favor and send this to at least 2 to 5 people? 2 to 5 people right now that you know need assistance, whether they need assistance in speaking and writing a book, planners, if they need assistance in career, in growing in their career space, maybe they need some assistance in their personal area of finances and things of that nature. Listen, we live in this world where I feel like somewhere down the line, somebody taught us the mentality of, you know, you got to keep things to yourself. In fact, I'm a big believer that whoever came up with the concept of don't tell people what you're working on, that was not nobody wealthy, because I don't know anybody wealthy that does not talk about where they're going. They will tell everybody where they're going, because we already know that majority of most people will never even take action on that. Now, I mean, I will say I do have some people that I hear running around and teaching the way that I teach. And guess what? I look at that as a blessing. See, I say I'm going to impact 10 million people. And I've come to learn, even if they don't think that we could be collaborating together. You notice we had Dr. Oliver Reed here, who helps people write books. We have Patricia Pearson, who is a part of the Book Profits Club family. She's a part of our elite publishers group. I have people who are in the same exact industry as me, because I understand the principle of growth. I understand the principle of collaboration. There's a lot of people that's talking collaboration in these days, guys, and they're not really living by that. I believe that if we are willing to collaborate, share the knowledge, guys, you can never lose somebody that's already assigned to you. So my goal for you guys, right, is to share this with 2 to 5 people. 2 to 5 people, tag them in the video, invite them to come to the conference, send out a text message, shucks, even send out an email. I'm telling you guys, I believe the reason why God continues to reward this household is because I am willing and able to share as much. I have referred people who write books to other people who come to me. Even though I could do it myself, I just am a big believer in collaborating. That's what real collaboration is. Collaboration that these people be running around here talking about, they don't really be collaborating. They don't really want to work together. They don't really see the value in the fact that maybe by myself I can impact 1,000, but 2 of us in the same industry, we can impact 10,000. Speaking of, we do have a conference that is coming up. It is going to be the Writers Conference, and I'll be sending everybody that is registered details on how you can join. We have many other publishers that are going to be a part of that, so make sure you guys plug in. Well, listen, we had another one of our speakers that was supposed to be on one of our sponsors, but I'm going to go ahead and play some commercials, and then we will be right back. But go tag some people, literally, right now, 2 to 5. Like, don't keep it to yourself. Don't be shady out here in these streets. Don't be shady. Come on, let's be sunshine. Invite them on in. All right.
Hey, so my name is Shanine. I'm an author coach and I'm the CEO of Reaching While Teaching. And I just want to come on here real quick to tell you guys about my experience with Taria of the Book Profits Club, y'all. So I partnered with Taria on a collaboration book project and she delivered. Okay, so from the idea to bringing it to life, everything, y'all. So I had a vision. I knew what I wanted to do, and I know how it's like publishing books and the process and everything. So I was like, you know what? Let me take some weight off my shoulders. So I partnered with her, and when I tell you she delivered, she delivered. So she was able to create, her team was able to create an amazing book cover. Her team was able to create capture pages. So my authors, which was 12 of them, right? They were able to basically, get pre-orders, get pre-sales before everything started. She did an amazing virtual launch, y'all. People still talking about it to this day, right? So it was just an amazing experience. Everything was organized, and listen, she helped us make that impact with the book, which I'm all about, and profit.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? So how many of you guys like free? Well, I don't know about you, but I don't mind getting something for free if I can. But the truth is nothing is for free, right? But this is what we're doing. Today is the coaches conference and we are live. All you have to do, guys, is register by going to thecoachescollaboration.com. Now, when you register and you join us live over in AirMeet, you're going to qualify to win some of these amazing giveaways. Microphones, we got phone stands, flat screen TVs, all types of goodies, okay? But all you have to do is be registered and alive. So showing up for success. They say that 90% of success is literally showing up. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I have seen this over the several years that I've been coaching since 2009. I have seen the reason why many people do not have the level of success that they deserve is because they simply do not show up for their success. They don't show up for themselves. I have been doing giveaways and conferences for years, and people absolutely win some amazing prizes, and they're not there to claim the winning. I have been doing coaching for years. People are not getting the opportunities for clients because they're not available. And so listen, register and show up. What are we doing on a Saturday morning where we could walk away with some amazing prizes and at the same time, amazing knowledge from our amazing coaches? So go to the coaches conference. I'm sorry, thecoachescollaboration.com. Lord Jesus, thecoachescollaboration.com. Register and I'll see you guys there. All right, everybody. So we're back. And now it's time for one of our amazing sponsors. So one of the things, as you guys know, we are celebrating the launch of the Coaches Collaboration book as well. I'm telling you, I just really got tired of just seeing so many people getting, well, I got to be careful with how I say the word because I saw recently somebody got in trouble by saying this word. So getting got, right? And so what I mean by that is they're investing into these programs where these coaches really do not care about their clients. The coaches are really not living the life that they're teaching. They're teaching stuff based off of theory and not principle. And I said, you know what? I'm over this, right? We've got to start building a network and database of coaches that we know we can trust. And so in this project, what we did is we allowed all of our coaches the opportunity to extend this to people that they knew and trusted as well. I definitely want to shout out Danella Burnett because I'm going to tell you guys, Danella brought in a lot of people. We actually have Libby. I see her in the chat. You guys saw her commercial. We're going to play her commercial again. But we have an incredible young lady who made a decision to actually sponsor a chapter in the book. And honey, she is incredible. And so today, as one of our sponsors, she's going to get a chance to speak to you guys on the main stage. So without further ado, I want to give it up. Let me just make sure real quick. I'm gonna make sure that we have her on the stage correctly. 1 second. Okay, there she is. Okay, awesome. Okay, so without further ado, I want everybody to give it up for our sponsor, Betsy Dickinson. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Beautiful. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you. So hello, my name is Betsy Dickinson, and I am a well-being speaker and coach, and I'm on a mission to have well-being and better life choices be top of mind for everyone, because well-being is our birthright, but we grow up and life happens, and we get in a state that we're in right now, dealing with a bad economy, bank collapses, getting through the pandemic, all of this stuff that puts us into a state of well mess. And so what I'm here to tell you today is some simple proven strategies to take you from well mess to wellness. And it all centers around the body, mind, and spirit connection, something that's been written about for centuries, but we've lost sight of it. And I wonder why that is. Part of me thinks that it's easy to focus on one at the sacrifice of another. For example, like if you're overweight and you put on that COVID-19 19 pounds, you're focusing on getting back to being healthy. You're focusing on your body and doing all the right things for your body, but it's probably at the expense of your mind and your spirit. So let's talk about these proven strategies. So in order to cultivate a happy, healthy mind, you want to get out in nature. because getting out in nature helps you not only feel alive and connected to the world, but it helps you feel alive and connected to yourself. I mean, think about it. When you go outside, what it's like to have the sun on your face, a nice breeze in your hair, nice, full, deep breathing of amazing oxygen. It is definitely something that lifts your spirit. You can't deny it. And then when you think about the mind, for me, mindset is everything. How awful would it be to be walking around with a cloud over your head every day and just kind of feeling like, meh. Well, positive mindset is really so super important. And the beauty of the mind is that we have the ability to choose whether or not we wake up every day and we're going to make it a good day or we're going to make it a crappy day. And that is how amazing we as functioning human beings are. We have the choice every day. So I say, choose happy. And now let's talk about the body. So once again, we have an amazing machine that we have here, right? It's a miracle that this body functions the way it does. We're a big ball of energy. We're a big ball of chemical reactions that are only at peak optimum efficiency if we feed it right and we move it around. Just like your car. If you give your car the premium octane fuel and you move it around like it's meant to be moved, it operates at peak efficiency. And it's no different with our body. So we have to feed it right and we have to exercise. And of course, none of those things are rocket science, what I just told you, right? To get out in nature, to choose happy, to eat right, and to exercise. But I'm in the business of reminding you. That's what I do as a coach, is I remind people not only about the importance of well-being, but also about how to keep that body, mind, and spirit connection working together in the best way possible. So I've got a raffle prize that I'm offering, which is plant-based protein, pumpkin spice flavor. So you get pumpkin spice all year long. 2 packets of superfoods, which are the equivalent of 6 servings of fruits and vegetables. And then a packet of nootropics, which is a product that is meant to help give you mental focus and clarity, which we can always use that, and that's working on the mind. So those are my things. Get out in nature, choose happy, move your body around, and give it the fuel that it needs. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Coaches Conference. And thanks again to Danella and Taria for inviting me to be here with you today.
Yay! Awesome. Well, Betsy, thank you so much for being here as well. Listen, we appreciate especially those individuals who see the power in what we're trying to do here and bringing value into the marketplace. And so, guys, make sure that you do me a favor. Continue to keep on chatting in the chat space. Also, make sure to get your points up. And please reach out to Betsy. You guys will be able to connect with her as well. We'll send you her details because, of course, she's one of our sponsors. But do you all know that you can also get one of our books? So listen, every single one of our incredible speakers that you guys have heard from to date thus far, they have an entire chapter in the Coaches Collaboration book. And so make sure that you get an edition of a copy of this edition for yourself. How do you get a copy? Reach out to the author that you know. So I don't sell it myself, only because I want to be fair to our co-authors. So you got to go directly to them to get a copy from them, okay? So go directly to them to get a copy from them. And let me shout out those of you guys in the chat. By the way, just so y'all know, today we have 187 people registered for the Coaches Conference. And I know that number is going to go up because I know that y'all already started texting out people, right? If you already have started texting out some people and inviting them to the conference, go ahead and put in the chat, I have. If you've tagged some people on a live broadcast, just go ahead and say, I've tagged. bagged. I want to know who out here has a wealth mentality, an abundant mentality. But we now, and then we have 187, but we have over 66 people who have logged into AirMeet. Okay, so I don't know where they all at, child. I don't know. They might be over there networking by themselves. You know, the great thing about our software, and we're going to do a networking break in a second, is that we have so many cool things that you can do. Matter of fact, let me see real quick. Yep, we're going to have a networking break, and then we're going to come back and do a giveaway. So the cool thing is that there's so many different things that you can do here in the software. You can go and connect with individuals one-on-one. You can go to an area that's called the lounge, and you guys can sit down at tables and connect with each other. You can also make sure that you schedule appointments with people. We're going to keep the conference open all day. So some of you guys might say, you know what, I'm ready to plug in and I want to connect with some people after the event, right? We've literally had people get on this conference software and be here into the wee hours, okay? Listen, some of us on a Saturday, our number one goal is to be able to increase our bottom line. And if your bottom line is finances, great. If your bottom line is relationships, great. If your bottom line is wellness, great. Like, bottom line ain't just always money, because I'm a big believer of having balance in mind, body, and soul. So listen, for everybody who is watching on social, some of you guys have still been in the chat the whole time. What are you doing? Do you know we're giving away a flat screen TV? Do you know we're giving away microphones? Do you know that we're giving away stands and all types of stuff? Listen, you do not want to miss it. Matter of fact, I meant to ask Betsy, what was she giving away? So I know that Betsy has something that she's giving away as well. Hold on one second. What is your raffle? Okay, y'all don't want to miss out on this, but you have to register and then come into AirMeet in order to win. So right now, let me just tell y'all who's already in the running to win, because we have about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who are qualified. Now, how do you qualify? Well, I'm going to share the leadership board again. The leadership board is being shared. Right now, we have Dr. Oliver T. Reed with 225 points. We have Tina Young Holman at 200 points. Okay, you better come on up to the top. We have Pat Pearson at 165 points. Danella at 130. Now, Tina doesn't even have a picture added. If you add a picture to your profile, Tina, it's going to skyrocket you up to the top, because you get a lot of points when you add your pictures in. So, guys, make sure that you are for sure participating. Earn points. And so there's ways that you can earn points. If you go at the top where you see leadership board, you can see how you can earn your points. So make sure that you earn your points. Okay. And shout out to everybody again. We have Libby here, Wanda, Tina Young here, Simone here. Let's see who else we have here. Tanizia. I'm about to say Tanzania. I was like, nah, I know that ain't it. Tanizia. She's chiming in from Guyana. Okay, somebody go message me just now talking about, well, I'm in Nigeria. Now, I know Nigeria got faster internet connection next to South Africa. So if Guyana is on the line, honey, there's no excuses. What time is it in Guyana right now? I know it's probably the evening. So you know what? She said, I'm not turning up tonight. I'm turning in to the training. Okay, Renetta, Simone, hello, everybody. Welcome. Manetta, hello, guys. So awesome. Well, listen, we're going to do a quick networking break. I'm a little bit behind time. That's okay. We're about 10 minutes behind time. I just realized that. So we're going to do a quick networking break. Let me show you how we're going to do this. I am going to add in, it's going to be called networking break. Okay. Networking break. And it's only going to be 10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes. Now, let me tell you what's dope about this. In this networking break, guys, you're going to get an opportunity to do one-on-one speed networking, okay? Now, in your one-on-one speed networking, it's 10 minutes long. You guys will get, you'll probably connect with one person up to 2 people at max, all right? In this break, what you want to do is you first want to, of course, introduce yourself, let the person know what you do. Try to keep it short, y'all. We get into these long intros, child, and we done tune the people out, right? So I'm going to give you an example of how I introduce myself, all right? And then I want you to share, what is your favorite song to listen to get you pumped up in the morning? Or your favorite whatever. What is your favorite thing to listen to get you pumped up in the morning? Okay, so let me give you an example. So without even sharing my titles, because a lot of times we get caught up on sharing our titles versus telling people immediately who do we help and how do we help them. This is what people will gravitate towards, okay? So I say, well, hey, my name is Taria Vision Avant. I help speakers, coaches, and network marketers who are authors or future authors learn how to grow and leverage their book so that they can generate a 6-figure business. And then I've been adding something in without having to feel like they got to work 50, 60 hours a week, right? So that's my intro. Now, my favorite thing to listen to in the morning that pumps me up is YouTube morning motivation. If you just search morning motivation on YouTube, they got tons of videos, and I love listening to any one of those morning motivation. It gets me pumped up and fired up for today. So what you're gonna do, guys, you have to be on your computer. So if you are not on your computer, then you'll just be sitting here watching the countdown timer, okay? So you gotta be on your computer. For those of you who are watching on social media, this gives you time to go ahead and register and join us here live. But if you're on your computer, you're gonna go up to the top where it says view schedule, okay? You're gonna go up to the top where it says view schedule. And then what you wanna do is you're gonna go ahead and click on the networking break. That's gonna bring you right into an opportunity to connect with somebody, okay? Now, for those of you guys, I'm gonna do something really, really dope, okay? I'm going to be giving away copies of books for those of you guys who actually go in and network. Okay, we can get the results at the end. So it'll show who actually went to the one-on-one networking. You're going to get a physical copy of one of my actual books. I don't care if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 people. Okay, because you took action, you're going to get a copy of one of my newest books that I'm releasing next month, okay? So I'm gonna tell you about it later on, but you gotta go do the one-on-one networking. For participating, you get rewarded, all right? And it don't even cost nothing to participate. It's free. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the networking break. It is now, listen, we are behind, y'all. So sorry to the panel, but we're gonna catch up. But we're gonna round it up to 10 minutes. So it's 37 minutes after the hour. So come right back at 47 minutes after. And then we're going to do our first giveaway of the day and bring on our next panel. So you guys go ahead and click on that. We're going to pause this session. So you're not going to see anything. Okay. So you need to go to networking if you want to be able to connect. All right. So we'll see you guys back in just a few. Go ahead and click on the networking is now live. You can click on the networking, click join now, and join in on the networking fun. All right, you guys, we'll see you back in just 10 minutes. Everybody, oh, hey everybody, just reminding everybody to please make sure that you go ahead and register now. We're going to be live in 3 minutes. You want to go to thecoachescollaboration.com to join us live. Thecoachescollaboration.com. We're going to be live, you guys, in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So make sure you come over and register. Tag 2 to 3 people as we get ready to come back live for the Coaches Collaboration. All right, everybody. So we are now down to 50 seconds left. 50 seconds left. We're so excited to have you guys here. Make sure that you guys go ahead and put into the chat space what city and state you're chiming in from. We have 40 seconds left in the networking. So I know that you guys are connecting and networking. But those of you guys watching on social media, do us a favor. Share this out. Share this to your platforms. Let people know about what it is that we are doing over here with the Coaches Conference, you guys. When I tell you that we have some amazing speakers, listen, you don't want to miss this, and they're giving a ton of value. We're about to do our very first giveaway, though. So we're going to do our very first giveaway. So one of our lucky top leaders on the board are going to be entered to win in the very first giveaway. So you have to make sure, guys, that you're getting your points up. And so we will be adding to the list on the next giveaway. So let's get this party started. What up? How you guys doing? Taria Vision Divine here, and this is the Coaches Conference. And listen, we've been having such an incredible time. I want to shout out to the chat. Guys, if you did get a chance to do some one-on-one networking, let us know in the chat. And let's shout out the city and states that we have here, guys. We have, let's see, New York. I see New York in the house. Franklin, Tennessee, Las Vegas, Nevada. Guys, go ahead and put your city and state in the chat. We have literally we're now over to 190 registrants for this conference, and the number is going up. Now, this is the deal. The great thing about this is that for those of you who are registered and you are joining us live, you also get a chance to win some amazing giveaways. So I'm going to be real quick so that we can bring up our next panel. So really quick, let me go ahead and pull up my screen so you guys can see. So here are those individuals who are up for the winning. Make sure y'all, hold on. Let me make sure it's got the right thing on here, child. Let me make sure y'all can see. All right. Hopefully. No, that is not the right screen. Let me tell it to go to the right screen. 1 second. Okay, entire screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's just a delay, of course. Okay, well, listen, y'all. So we have the delay, and so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and still do the spinning for the wheel so that you guys can get a chance to win, and I will announce who the first name is going to be, and then we're going to go ahead and spin for their win. So let's go for the first name. All right. Let's give it up for Tina Young Holman. Now, Tina Young Holman, you do have to stay all the way until the end. This is another thing I'm big on, because a lot of times, y'all, people will show up, they win something, then they leave and miss out on life-changing information. The great thing about this conference is you did not have to pay any money to attend. Now, we do have a VIP upgrade where the VIPs are going to get some additional bonus training. And so instead of paying $500 or $1,000, we have an amazing VIP opportunity upgrade. But Tina, you know what? I don't know if Tina is a VIP or not, but Tina did not have to pay anything to win. So congratulations to Tina. Hopefully she is here in the chat. Is Tina here? So let's go ahead and add in the spin of what she has won. Let's go. Well, honey, as long as my days have been wide, honey, I've never seen somebody win the flat screen TV on the very first spin. Let's give it up, Tina. So, Tina, I hope Tina is here, because Tina, in order to win, you must stay all the way into the end. Tina Young Holman, congratulations. You have won a flat screen TV. Okay, and guess what? She ain't had to pay nothing to win that. So now it's time, guys, to bring on our panel of speakers. Guys, we have another incredible panel. We have some incredible coaches. Remember, this is the Coaches Collaboration book. And so I don't know what happened to everybody. Somebody dropped off, chat. So we just go right now. We just go ahead. Hold on, y'all. Let me just fix this real quick until they might come back on. I don't know. All right. So let me hook this up real quick. Wait, one second. All right. Awesome. All right, guys. So we have another amazing panel that we're going to be bringing up to you guys. So let's go ahead and get them live and rocking and rolling so that they can introduce you guys. Now, keep in mind, these are also co-authors of the brand new Coaches book that just came out, guys. If you have not purchased your copy, you're going to see 2 other, hopefully 3 or 4 other additional incredible women that are going to be able to get you a copy in your hand. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our second panel. Yay! Hello, ladies. Hello. So listen, hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, I'm not in preview mode. So, hello. How are y'all doing today?
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Yay. Okay. Well, listen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off first with Lisa Crawford. Lisa, if you could, I am so excited to have Lisa a part of this project. Also, I think better known as well is LJ too. We also know her as LJ Honey. Yes. And so LJ has a very unique space that she is in. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and give it up for Lisa.
Yay. I am so excited to be here. And my platform, what I do is I teach leaders how to be master relationship builders. Your employee is your first guest. Anyone that you lead, take care of them first, and they'll take care of your guests next. So that is my space. I adore the relationship building portion of life. If you're in the hospitality industry, you must be hospitable. And a lot of people have forgotten. And I teach them how to be intentional.
Ooh, come on now. Let me tell you something. One thing I'm going to tell you, Lisa, that has definitely helped me with my business is that word hospitable, learning how to have hospitality when it comes to not just my clients, but also my staff. Building relationships is so important. I'll never forget, when I used to be a network marketer, Lisa, back in the day. I was such a tough leader, chat. My coach had told me, you need to go get this book, Winning Without Intimidation, because honey, I was just cutting them up everywhere I went. So I had to learn how to build those relationships. So I'm excited. We're going to have a conversation about that. All right. And also, this is another young lady who has been plugged in to what we have been doing. I don't know how long we've been connected, Takeda, but you tell us how long, because it's been a minute now. And I'm so excited because, of course, you're a part of this book, and I'm just seeing your evolution as well when it comes to this space. So go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, beautiful beloveds. I am Taquita White Muhammad, your joy flowologist, and what I do is I help highly skilled individuals, highly analytical individuals rediscover their joy by tapping into their internal giftings so that they can live a life abundantly, doing exactly what they love, how they love, showing up. And that is what I do. That is how I help. And so, yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Taquita. Thank you for being here, darling. And as you can see, we got a couple faces that have popped up as well. So we have two additional amazing ladies that are going to be sharing with us a little bit about who they are and what they do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Dr. Latanya Jackson. She's going to be keynoting with us later on too. But Dr. Latanya, go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Dr. Latanya Jackson, as Taria said, and I get the privilege. I have this vision of bringing a purified life and inner healing to the world. And I do that by developing corporate and community leaders who desire to impact their world by cultivating mind wealth. And so that's who I am, and that's what I'm here to do today.
Well, listen, I don't know if you're noticing that I'm making sure that we're pairing up our amazing authors, really connecting them to, I would say, areas that work well together, right? Collaborate together. Amen. So I love this conversation that we're going to have in just a few, guys. We're going to dig deeper into this. But now, without further ado, we also want to bring on one other additional superstar, and that is going to be Taiwana. So, darling, the mic is yours.
Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Taiwana, Coach T. Wilson, and I help professionals like yourself grow your leadership so that you can stand out, get promoted, and eventually make more money. My star power is working with medical laboratory professional and healthcare leaders. So not only do I help you develop your leadership, I help you get discovered. And that's one of the biggest challenges for leaders today is showcasing their skills so that they can position themselves as the obvious choice. So I do that through coaching and leadership development, and I'm excited to be here to share with you today.
Well, listen, another thing I want to encourage you guys is that some of our speakers are also going to be staying after we are done with the big conference and having breakout workshops. And so make sure, now, even if they're not here, you want to make sure that you're over there in the chat, logging into AirMeet, connecting with them in the chat so that you can be able to build those connections and relationships with them. Well, listen, I want to go ahead and start off first with Lisa. So Lisa, you are in the space of relationships, right? Hospitality. Now, I would say when it comes to, because many of the people that are watching this right now, they are entrepreneurs, they're corporate climbers, they're building their businesses or building their journey to employment and going to the next ladder. Why is it important when it comes to building relationships, right? Why is it important that people make it an effort to develop those skill sets? Because notice I also said skill sets in these areas of employment as well as business building.
People want to work with who they know, like, and trust. And if you are not showing yourself friendly, even as a boss, as an entrepreneur, who wants to work with you? And so to build relationships, it just creates such a connection to where people want to follow you. They want to know what you know. So it's relationship building is the foundation to me of being financially wealthy.
Hey, yes, they do say that your network is based on your net worth is based on your net work. Absolutely. So I'm with you all the way on that. Absolutely. And so now I want to bring this over to Taquita. So Taquita, she's all about, again, ladies and gentlemen, with rediscovering your joy, right? And so I know that you're going to be talking about the contracts and things like that, but how do we even connect joy with what you do? Or why is it that you make it your business to talk about joy in the space of your expertise as you are? Why is that such an important topic for you? And even if you align it with what you've experienced in your life.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, joy is a currency. When we operate in a space of joy, we remove all of the blockers. And so it's really critical to get to that place where you're fully aligned. Joy allows for that level of alignment so that you can flow, whether that's in your relationships, whether that's in your business, whether that is in your health, in your actual physical body, your mental capacities. If you're operating from a place of fulfillment, and it doesn't mean that every day is like a happy, sunshiny day. It just means that you have a level of contentment. You're able to move through, with tools and skills, with techniques that help you to keep a even keel, even if you would, so that you're, really happy in your life. And so joy is the mechanism. It's the component that we often miss. It's not that, happiness in the moment, but it is actually creating that lifestyle so that you are aligned and everything starts to flow. So that's in, again, your spirituality, that's in your finances, your relationships, and first and foremost, sitting with yourself. And so me personally, after going through a divorce in 2018, we actually separated. It took us about 2 years to complete that process. But, I had to tap back in. I had to rediscover, like, what is it about me? Who am I even? Like, my whole identity, just going through that crisis, it broke me. I think it was kind of like, we go through so many things, and then there's that one thing where that was the one thing. And I found myself just in a place of darkness and not knowing who I was, what were my next steps. And so just starting to tap into my joy factors, rediscovering that, and then getting aligned, and now being able to show up and to help others and to bring that, practically into business is, why I so strongly promote just really getting back to your joy.
I think, such an important topic, talking about joy. I always share, guys, and I don't even know why this thing is freezing every time I want to talk, but that's okay. Y'all can hear me clearly, right? As long as y'all can hear me clearly. So
yes, loud and clear.
Thank you. When it comes to joy, Taquita, I think that, listen, if you cannot find joy in what you're doing, whether it's in your business, your career, your relationships, your day-to-day living, honey, we're missing out. And joy for me does not equate to the things that we can have. Joy equates to who we can help and how we can impact. And I'm forever grateful, for all of you ladies, because again, this is the Coaches Conference. And so this is a number of people who have a joy in impacting other people's lives. And so thank you so much for having this conversation on joy. And I know that you're going to plug deeper into that later on today. Well, I want to go ahead and switch it over. Now, Dr. Latanya is about to do a special keynote, but I definitely want to bring her on as well. Because if you notice, again, we just talked about public speaking. We talked about book writing, but now we're kind of getting into more things of development in the space of the things that most people don't really want to tap into. I'm going to be honest. Like, a lot of times we don't think about, planning out our joy. A lot of times we're not thinking about leadership and relationships. But honey, when it comes down to getting to that next level, these are essential factors that we must have in place. So Dr. Latanya, I want to ask you this: leadership, baby. Okay, so I started my coaching business in 2015. At that time, it was just me, myself, and I. It's different when you're coaching, but then when you also have to have leadership with your staff. And I have had to truly plug into learning leadership for the purpose of being able to impact more people. How important for all of the entrepreneurs, even those who are climbing the corporate ladder, how important is leadership development? And what is it that you see a lot of people not pay close attention to when it comes to developing that leadership?
Ooh, Taria, that's such a deep question. So how important is leadership? That's question number one. And leadership, John Maxwell defines leadership as influence, nothing more, nothing less. So we all are leaders. Every single person, from the age you're able to talk, you're influencing people. Even if you're crawling, even if you're a baby, right? You're influencing how others show up. And that's leadership, right? And so being a leader, especially in entrepreneurship and even in the corporate sector, I get the privilege of leading a team. They're amazing in the corporate environment, and I work a business. And those two, I would honestly say, leading a team of business professionals, sometimes it's more challenging than my corporate folks because they have to be there. But what I would say is important in that is this idea around influence, right? Is looking at identifying their strengths and honing in on the skills that help an individual grow beyond where they are and grow forward, right? We all have blind spots as leaders. So part of that requires us to be open to feedback, and not the feedback that's destructive. For example, I had someone, I'm working on a real estate project and several, and one of the individuals said to me, "Who hired this title company? They are incompetent." Now, she doesn't know me very well. We're working together for the first time, but statements like that are an example of someone who needs to grow in self-efficacy and grow in their own confidence and be able to recognize that not everybody responds or reacts the same way that you do. And so leadership, being able to recognize and identify those external variables, the words that people are speaking, how they're showing up in the business environment, guiding them. Some people need to be handheld at first, but if you're continuing to handhold them, then they probably need to be promoted to customer and grown in a way that helps them to actually be a value add, but giving them the feedback, sharing with them the tools and resources and tips to grow is what's going to help them. Hopefully that answers your question.
No, absolutely. It definitely answered my question. And, let me tell you something. A lot of us don't even think about, well, even if I'm just leading two people, do I really need to develop my leadership skills? Absolutely, because those two people may go on to lead hundreds to thousands. And I also believe that the speed of an organization is based upon the leadership, the speed of the leadership, the excitement of the leadership, and all of those things. And so thank you so much. And I know that your signature talk that you're going to be doing on today, right after the panel, is just going to be phenomenal. Well, I want to go ahead and swing it over to Taiwana. Taiwana and I have been connected. All of you ladies have been connected here for a minute now. So I just, when we came out with this coaches collaboration book, I was definitely excited to see your faces. Taiwana was a part of one of our book camps that we did several years ago, and she wrote her book in the space of STEM, right? It was leadership in STEM. I know it's always been in the medical. I know it was leadership for sure. But now, because I remember the cover. And I know that you have gone on to definitely literally leverage your expertise to get on some major platforms. And today, of course, we're talking about, increasing your professional footprint. What have you seen? Because you are, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that you're still in the corporate space doing tremendous things there, but you're also an entrepreneur. What have you learned that you've been able to apply from corporate now into your entrepreneurship space when it comes to leadership and also just professionalism?
That's a great question. One of the things that I learned is that really having the soft skills has really been able to make me be able to excel. The soft skills, not only being leadership, because when people talk leadership, leadership is multifaceted. Leadership is respect. Leadership is the ability to have others follow you, i.e., influence. Leadership is the ability to delegate. So I am a medical laboratory professional. I've been a healthcare leader for nearly 20 years. I've coached and trained medical laboratory scientists all around the world, including Rwanda, Africa. And what I learned is having the art of communication has been essential, whether it was in the workplace, in my local laboratory, or with scientists abroad, or with entrepreneurs. Being able to communicate in the workplace, we have 4 generations of workers today, and everybody communicates differently. Everybody wants to receive communication differently, whether it's email, whether it's text message, whether it's Teams or Zoom chat. And so being able to communicate in the way in which your audience will be receptive to that communication is very important. And as an entrepreneur, being able to delegate. So that's a skill, whether you're in the workplace or you're in your business, because as a business owner, you can't do everything. So you have to play to your strengths. What are you good at? What are you really strong at? And spend your effort there and delegate the other activities to other people that where they can be strong at. So delegating, active listening, you have to listen more than you talk. When you listen, people will tell you exactly what you need to know, whether it's for selling your product, whether it's for getting your team to buy into an idea or a new initiative, but really listening, and not listening to respond, listening to understand are key things for leaders, whether you're in a corporate environment or in your business. And the last thing I would say with increasing your professional visibility, your leadership, is developing your network, that relationship capital. Truly, that's a non-negotiable. You should be investing in your relationships daily and often. Invest in them way before you need to withdraw from those relationships. Whether I'm in the corporate sector, I am investing in those relationships, whether I want to know what another lab is doing, whether I want to know what another scientist is doing that maybe my lab hasn't implemented yet. And so I'm investing and building in those relationships. The same way with business. You are investing in people. You are giving and giving knowledge, as I call it, leadership tidbits. I'm giving you leadership tidbits so that you can go and be impactful. And then when it's time to collaborate, as Taria mentioned before, when it's time to partner, then you have a pool or a network that you're able to draw from. So I would tell everybody that's listening today, I know you have your notebooks, you're writing down tons of information, and I really want you to be actionable. And I would say invest in those soft skills, building your network, learning the art of communication. And I have a freebie on that. So I'll be able to give you some tips to get off to a fast start with that, and being confident in your strengths and what you do well so that you can get promoted, advance in your career, or even get your business promoted to the next level.
Whew, honey, I think we need to have a whole conference on relationships, leadership, and joy, because these topics right here are very powerful. And I'm excited that for those of you guys who are going to be coming to do the private workshops, that you'll be there, because literally every single one of you guys that are VIPs, you're going to get the replay. So if you're a VIP, you're going to get the replays of all of our speakers. However, if you are general admission, you do not want to listen. You guys are getting a chance to hear from our amazing authors. So you want to figure out what workshop you want to go to. Okay. Now, the last question that I want to ask you guys is, tell us, with Dr. Latanya, we'll have you go tell everybody in your talk. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with the other 3 ladies, is tell us, how can we get in contact with you? And then also, if you are doing a raffle, let us know what you're raffling. By the way, if we do not select their raffles during the live, Oh, they gonna get selected. So everybody's going to get, somebody's gonna win one of these giveaways that our authors are offering, okay? Author, speakers, and our coaches. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start with first Lisa. Lisa, how can we get in touch with you, my love?
www.lisajcrawford.com. That's me. All of my information is there. And I will be giving away a book called The Master Relationship Builder, Relationship Building Through the Eyes of the Employee.
All right. Thank you, darling. Okay, so The Master Relationship Builder. All right, from Lisa. Okay, Taquita, darling, what do you have that you're going to give away? And also, of course, let us know how to get in touch with you.
Of course. So you can get in touch with me on all social media platforms at Transform with Taquita. That's at Transform with Taquita. And you can also get in touch with me on the website at www.transformwithtaquita.com. www.transformwithtaquita.com. And my giveaway is actually going to be this guided journal that I published a couple of years ago. And so it's a 31-day guided journal, and it takes you through 31 days just of reclaiming your joy. So you're doing exercises around, just reflection and meditation and affirmations, affirmations, just really tapping into your internal giftings and what, you're good at naturally. So that's my giveaway.
Well, thank you so much, darling. And last but definitely not least, Tawana, go ahead and let us know, how can we get in touch with you, as well as are you going to be giving something away as well?
You can get in touch with me and reach out to me on LinkedIn under Tawana Wilson. You have to be on LinkedIn. That's where all of the professionals are, whether career or business related. I do have a free gift for you, which is the Art of Confident Communication that you can get. It's a quick start guide. You can get it at createyourcareerroadmap.com. Again, that's createyourcareerroadmap.com. And for your raffle, of course, I have a raffle to give. I have my book, Some Leaders Wear Lab Coats, and I'll also give you a digital download of your personal brag book so that you can capitalize on your strengths and you'll be able to pitch yourself at any given time.
Well, y'all, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? So we're going to be doing some more raffles. So I hope you guys are definitely getting your points up. And I have no idea. Listen, every time we do it live, it cut up. But you know what I love so much about lives versus recorded? Because we could have did a recorded one. I like lives because we get a chance to interact with the audience, right? And so I definitely want to make sure that I shout out those of you guys who are live in the chat space. Libby, Monique, of course, LaTanya. Our speakers are in the chat as well, so make sure you hit them up. We have Tanisha. I keep on saying that, girl. I keep getting tongue-tied. But Ornita, Wanda. So guys, make sure that you stay active in the chat space and stay connected. Listen, we're going to get ready right now for our keynote speaker. Before we do, though, I am going to play a couple of commercials, and then we're going to get ready for Dr. LaTanya Jackson, who's going to be with us live. Also, don't forget our authors. We're celebrating the book of the Coaches Collaboration, okay? So our authors are going to be, for those that are available, they're going to be staying after to do a workshop with you guys. Now, it's going to be a special link, and we're going to give it to everybody who is registered. It will not be broadcasted on social media. It's going to be private, okay? So you want to make sure that you are here. If you're hungry, go grab you something to eat while you're watching, right? You don't want to miss these workshops. I promise you, you don't, okay? So anyways, with that stated, let's go ahead and get ready for our keynote. I'm going to play 2 commercials, and then we're going to bring her on. Hey, what's going on, superstars? This is Taria Vision-Avant, and I work with speakers, coaches, and network marketers who are authors or future authors. They want to grow their business and want to learn how to do so by leveraging their book while also having more free time to enjoy this world. Listen, I am looking for speakers. We're looking for 20 speakers to join us for our next big event. If you're interested in walking away with the leads, if you also want to be able to make offers while you're doing your live event, as well as opportunities for you to be able to make money up front. What I need you to do is go to jointhesuccesscircle.com. Again, go to jointhesuccesscircle.com. I am looking forward to working with you. We don't just want you to just be on a stage. I want you to walk away with a ton of value as well as leads. So go to jointhesuccesscircle.com and I'll see you guys there. Deuces.
Greetings, women entrepreneurs and those in management. What is the lifetime value of confidence? Do you shy away from being visible in your business for fear of being judged, criticized, or embarrassed by your appearance? Perhaps you feel out of date, you're not at your ideal weight, or simply struggle with accessorizing. I can help. I'm Libby Jason, style expert and confidence builder for women. With my image styling services and personal development approach, I have helped hundreds of women to have more confidence, credibility, and income without shame or criticism. One woman gained 4 new clients in less than 30 days. If you'd like more information, contact me at libbyjason.com. That's libbyjason.com.
And Libby is also in the chat, guys. So if you want to connect with our incredible sponsor, Libby, make sure that you hit her up. Just ping her, send a message. You can click on her name and it'll say send a message for those of you guys watching in the air meet. Well, guys, I'm excited again to bring on another young lady. Dr. Latanya has also been a part of our boot camps. She's also been a part of our collaborative projects. She's one of our original OGs, right? And so I am so grateful that she is one of our keynote speakers. She too will be, for those of you guys who are registered, she'll be reaching out to every single person who's registered here. So make sure that you look out for her email because she's going to give you some additional goodies. Guys, she has been able to work with leaders and speakers who really want to help those in the community space as well as corporate space really gain that, hold on, let me make sure I say it right, really gain that opportunity of unlocking their limitless brilliance, right? And so I love that. Limitless. It reminds me of the movie, okay? So she is that pill, you know, the little white pill. That is our girl, Dr. Latanya Jackson. She is a speaker. She is a coach. She is also a multi-published author. And so without further ado, guys, we're going to bring her up. Now, Dr. Latanya, if you are going to be sharing your screen, just go ahead and let me know when you're ready to share the screen, and we'll be working behind the scenes to make sure everything is ready to go. But y'all, let's give it up. Let's give a round of applause for Dr. Latanya Jackson.
Hello. I love that introduction, everyone. Super excited to be here with Taria and the team. These ladies, I'm amongst great men. I believe that wholeheartedly, that your gifts will make room for you and they'll take you before great men. And so I am amongst great men and women today in this coaches conference, and I'm so stoked. And so I do have a PowerPoint, but I'm feeling led to do something a little different. So we're just going to go with it. All right. Yeah. Do y'all trust me? I know y'all just met me, but you got to trust me a little bit. So I am Dr. Latanya Jackson, and I am going to talk with you about limitless leadership and how it all starts with you in our conversation today. And I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm going to be dropping nuggets and value throughout the session, and I hope you pick up on them. But if not, join me later on in a workshop, and we'll work through some of this and talk through some of it in our session. So as I alluded to earlier when I was introduced, I'm on a mission to develop corporate and community leaders who desire to impact the world by cultivating their mind wealth so that we can unlock your limitless brilliance, right? That's what we're all about. And it's a Saturday morning for me here in Arkansas. That's where I'm located. And so I'm going to spend hopefully about 30 to 40 minutes just kind of talking with you. I'm going to ask you to interact and engage with me on the chat. So if you see me looking to the right, that's where my phone is, so I can see what you're saying, unless you're on one of the social media platforms, and I can see your comments right in front of me, okay? I'm going to cover 3 big topics and try to condense this all in this time with you. Number 1, I'm going to talk about reasons why our untapped potential occurs. Number 2, I'm going to share some ways to maximize energy to grow forward. And number 3, I'm going to provide some tips and tools for limitless living. And then I'm going to make an offer to you at the end of this session that is really a killer offer, because you are not, I promise you, not going to find this offer anywhere else when it comes to the tool I'm going to offer you today. So let's get into it. How did we get to limitless leadership? Well, my journey toward limitless leadership actually began about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago, when I made a decision to pursue my dream of becoming a coach, a certified coach through a program that I had been admiring for over 10 years. Okay, so 10 years, I've just kind of watched it. I watched the price go up. I was on their email list, all of these different things. And I kept waffling back and forth on the decision of whether or not I wanted to make the investment. And we heard earlier from Danella and some of the other coaches, right? Relationship is important, but also making the investment in your dreams and making an investment into yourself is as important as anything else. And so in a moment, doing a video, because a video was required to do this particular program, I joined a Coaches of Color network called CFE, the Coaching for Everyone, is a nonprofit organization. They were just getting started and basically allowing coaches to go through programs. And guess what? The program that I had been wanting to go through was one of them. And so I joined, but a video was required. And I thought, oh, I don't want to do this video. And so I kept putting it off, and literally waited till the day of the deadline, maybe even the day after. And because self-sabotaging behavior, we're going to come back to that. And I finally recorded the video. I cut off all other options, recorded the video, and just hit submit. And so lo and behold, I got in to this particular program. And I thought, oh, bad timing. Life is happening all around me. I'm in the middle of moving. I was in the middle of doing all this stuff. And, but I didn't make any excuses. Okay. And so we were selling our home. It's the holidays, but the program started November 12th of that year. And I thought, okay, well, so I joined it. I got in, I joined the program, and I show up, because that's part of the process, is showing up. And one of the very first exercises that we had to do was envision where we wanted to be a year from that particular date. And so in this visioning exercise, I thought, where do I want to be a year from now? And so I'm going to ask that of you. I want you to type in the chat, where do you want to be on March 25th, 2024? What will your life look like? And I'm going to give you just a second to type, because I want to see some of those comments. Where do you want to be a year from now? What will your life look like? What job are you in? What house are you living in? What does your hair look like? Your clothes? Just give me one thing in the comments. Just give me one. Y'all are, I'm watching the chat. I don't see nothing coming in. So I am a former professor in a university, so I could sit here all day. It's a Saturday. Clearly I've got notes. Clearly I'm prepared, but you don't get anything out of this if you don't engage. So I want your engagement if you don't mind. And I know you've been chatting throughout the day, and unless my phone is slow and I don't see it, please go ahead and type in the chat.
Yes, there's a bit of a delay. So if you get them to type in, maybe go forward and then you'll come back, because it is about a 10-second delay.
Okay, I see some popping in now. Thank you, Taria. Okay, I see one person saying a published author. Well, you are definitely in the right space for that. Okay, there are plenty of publishers, and Taria is a great one. Work with her program. I've done it for, goodness, was it 2018? I believe is when I started working with Taria and getting my first book out there. And so flourishing business, what does that mean? When you say flourishing, what does a flourishing business look like? Business is soaring. What does soaring mean? So you see, right, double my relationships and networking. Okay, so clearly you have a number. I would presume that, Libby, that says, okay, my networking and relationships is at X, and I know where I want it to be to double it, right? And so here's what, as you look at some of the comments that are coming in, right, notice that some of them are kind of vague, right? We're not very clear about what it is that we actually envision. And so that's a challenge that I want to bring to all of you today, is to really get clear about what it is that you want to do. And a coach, any one of these ladies and gentlemen that are here today, can help you do that. But when you say things like flourishing or my business is soaring, nobody knows what that means but you. So you've got to be able to articulate it for yourself in a way that says tangibly, what is it going to look like? and how is it going to show up for you? So for me, what I did was I wrote down a house. We were selling our home. We knew it was time to move and get a new home. And I envisioned what I wanted. I wanted 4 bedrooms with my daughter to have her own bathroom. And I literally, that's how specific you need to be. It was like, it'd be nice if it had a second living room. It'd be nice if it was over 3,500 square feet. It would be really nice if it was a half an acre of land. It'd be really nice if it had a basement, because I grew up in a space where basements were popular. And so I wrote all of this down. I am now sitting in that house. Okay, so that is the power of visioning. When you envision where you want to go as a leader, right? Because remember, I defined leadership earlier, unless you're just joining. Leadership is, according to John Maxwell, is influence, nothing more and nothing less. And so when you think about what your life would look like a year from today, on March 25th, 2024, will you be speaking on a stage? This was part of my vision. I only gave you the house part, but there was more that I wrote down. Will you be part of the vision? Will be speaking be part of your vision? Will that book actually be in your hand and you sitting here showing it to the rest of the world saying, hey, last year in a session at the coaches conference, I visioned that I wanted to write a book and be a published author. And this year I'm holding said book in my hand, right? So part of leading yourself, you have to lead yourself first before you can lead other people. And unfortunately, I learned this lesson the hard way. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But if you opted to do the exercise, what it tells me is that you have untapped potential on the inside of you already, and you are fully aware of it. In other words, you have what you need to live limitless, but you have not opted to use it. That is the definition of untapped potential, that you have what you need to live limitless on the inside of you, but you have opted not to use it. Why? Why haven't you tapped in? I'm going to give you another opportunity to engage and type in the chat. Why haven't you tapped in? Why haven't you taken the opportunity to tap into your potential? Because clearly you have it. I've listed, there's so many things in here that I've already seen that could all easily be done. Heck, you could write a book with Taria in less than 3 months. In fact, you could do it in a weekend if she still offers a boot camp. I don't even know. But I did it in a weekend. And then it took me a little bit of time to do the follow-up stuff. But when I got it done, it was done. And now I can hold said book in my hand. I have lots of them. I have 3 right here, 2 of which I did with Taria, 1 I published on my own. And these are my giveaways, by the way, for today. I'm going to give this bundle of books away as part of my raffle. And so you'll get I Am Called, which is a children's poetry book I co-authored with my daughter when she was 6 years old. The Layoff Lab is one that I've been laid off twice in my career. So everything I'm telling you based on experience, lived experience, and in the workplace, and also what happens outside of it. So you could get the Layoff Lab. And then the first book I did with Taria was called No Deadbeat Jobs, right? And this book is chock full of information on how to do resumes and do interviewing tips and tricks and some other career information. And it was the first book I wrote because that was sort of my occupational hobby at work, was always tapping into people. And so that's the giveaway today. But I couldn't do that if I actually hadn't taken massive action. And so you all have listed some things in the chat about why you haven't tapped in. So fearful, no time, lack of finances. I had all of those same excuses. But here's what I know. Here's what you know. If you have children, or if you have a parent or someone whom you care deeply, deeply, deeply about, and they were in dire need of something, what exactly would you do to go help them? And they called you on the phone and they said, I need $100 today. What would you do? You would go out of your way and find a way to help them, would you not? And so when we do that, if we're doing it for other people, the truth is we just have opted not to do it for ourselves. I know it's hard, but y'all gonna be all right. Okay? We opted not to do it for ourselves. If we're out here and able to go, my son's about to play baseball. And so baseball season, you got uniforms, cleats, the baseball bat, all this stuff. And he's grown since last year. So everything from last year doesn't work. So you got to get all new stuff. Guess what you're going to do? I'm going to find a way to make sure he has everything he needs for baseball this season, right? Same thing with a parent. When my mom was a single mother. So if she needs something, I will reach out. I will find a way. I will lower prices on options and career coaching and different things like that. I will find a way. I will get out here and rake leaves if I have to. I will find a way. And so if you're willing to find a way for everybody else but yourself, we need to check that. And this is why we're here today, right? We need to look into what is it that's causing you to do that. So here are some reasons from the research that I found as to why we don't tap into our potential. Number one, conflict within yourself or your goals. So you're indecisive, you're afraid to make a decision because you think it might be wrong. Again, I'm speaking from my own experience. This is exactly what was going on with me. I had not made a decision. The word decide means to cut off all other options. It means to cut away. So if you are like, oh, I'm still trying to decide, nope, you're not, because still trying means that you actually haven't cut off all other options. It's like losing weight. It's March. And we know that most people in January say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds by the end of March. And it is March and you have gained 25 pounds instead of losing 50. Why? Because you did not decide to lose weight and do the things, take the action necessary to lose the weight. You actually just made a statement that really wasn't a goal that you were bought into, and you didn't take any action to cut off all other options related to that. So that's number one, conflict within yourself or your goals. Number two, why we don't tap into our potential, denial of facts or truth. We make assumptions, maybe perhaps when you were a child, you had some assumptions that you made that you decided were a fact, or maybe even as an adult, you had assumptions you made that you decided were a fact. Somehow you believe, because this, again, I'm talking about myself, just go with me. You believe you can create a 28-hour day when there's only 24 hours. How you gonna do that? Okay, you cannot do that. There's only 24 hours in a day for all of us busy bees who think, well, I can just squeeze one more class or one more thing. And Lord knows I have gotten my hand slapped. Taria has slapped my hand, and every other coach I've ever had have slapped my hand because I'm doing too much most of the time. And so I share that with you because if you're not leading yourself in these areas, you're not able to tap into your potential. Number three, negative self-talk or negative core beliefs. No matter what anybody says to you, no matter how many times they pump you up, they're like, go girl, they're cheering you on, rah, rah, you got it, man, you got it, dude. That was one of my shows I like to watch. No matter how brilliant you are, and everybody else can see it, you somehow find a way to sabotage that by using, thoughts that directly are in direct opposition of the thoughts and the words that people are releasing over you. So again, interesting. Negative self-talk, core beliefs. You can't tap into your potential that way. Number four, comparison. Constantly seeing yourself as not measuring up to others around you instead of letting you be your only competition. You are your only competition out here in these streets, but you will let everyone else and what they're doing and what you're not doing, and creating that comparison gap for yourself, create this opportunity for you not to tap into who you really are. And Lord knows I can speak on that. Well, I'm not as great a speaker as Taria. I'm not as clear with my goals or my vision as so-and-so. I'm not great on camera. I get really afraid. I use my hands when I talk. I mean, I could go on and on with all of the things that I use as excuses for not doing what I am actually supposed to be doing in the earth. Self-sabotage. Yes, Oliver, self-sabotage, right? So comparison, the comparison thief. You're comfortable. This is my favorite one right here. You are so comfortable that you have set a life barometer to bad, and anything good that comes into your life, you will reset the barometer back to bad. So even if everything in your life is going well, everything around you is wonderful, somehow, some way, you will internally decide, because you are making a decision, whether you know it or not, that life is not supposed to be this good. It's not supposed to happen to me. I'm not good enough for that to happen to me. And so you will reset the barometer to be bad as quickly as you can, too. So even if everything's going well, in less than a month, you can be like, oh my God, what is happening to me? How can I make life better? And so here's what we know. Limited beliefs equal limited living. Notice that not one of these reasons that I've shared with you about why we don't tap into our potential has to do with anyone except yourself. No other person, just you. Everything I said has to do with you. You are untapped and trapped. Type that in the comments. Untapped and trapped. That's it. You are untapped and trapped. So what do you want to do about that? How can you begin to tap into your potential? Well, we did one exercise already. It's called visioning. I want you to think about the things that you want. Pick one to two areas of your life and begin to envision. You don't have to go a year out. You can go 3 months out. In 90 days, where am I going to be? By the way, these same principles work if you deal with imposter syndrome in the workplace. Having that 90-day plan is important. It's not just rhetoric. It's not just words that people say to you. Having a 90-day plan is actually visioning what do you want to have accomplished in the first 90 days on this job or in the next 90 days on the job. And then you can begin to say, if you are a leader of people, like I am, when you're leading a team, where do you want their careers to be a year from now? Where do you want them to be 90 days from now, etc., right? So it's not just about you, but it does start with you, because you cannot lead people where you have not first yourself gone. I cannot sit here and talk about limitless brilliance. And I promise y'all, I didn't even get it until my coach, she kept challenging me. She's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Why are you talking about this? And finally, it hit me recently. I am talking about this because this is my life. At every turn, I hear the feedback. Taria probably could go back and catch the notes and be like, girl, I don't even understand what you're talking about. I mean, she coached me so many times around my thinking, around the book and how it should be written. And I was like, but I wanted to say this and I want to do it this way. And so I kept trying to do it my own way, but untapped and trapped, and was wondering why my business wasn't growing and why my books weren't selling, because I wasn't listening. We're going to come back to that. So in addition to visioning, which is one way you can begin to tap into your potential, you have to decide, cut off all other options, to break up with and let go of those saboteurs in your life. Saboteurs are those mindsets and behaviors that keep you limited and stuck. Okay? So in addition, I was doing another homework assignment for a class I was in February of last year. And I wrote a poem entitled Limitless. I'm not going to share it with you today, but if you sign up on my Find Your Flex page, go to latanyajackson.com/Find Your Flex. You will download a document and I will send out to everyone on my list this Limitless poem. But part of what it says is this, because I do think it's important just to give you a little nugget on that. Part of what it says is, there are those who know you are deserving. There are those who see that you're hurting. But as of today, you have to choose who you want to be. Okay. So choosing who you want to be. And then there was a proverb that I came across. I'm a Christian. Hope that doesn't offend you. If it does, I'm sorry. But I do DEI work all the time, and there's every other religion out there is free to talk about theirs. So I have chosen to be free to talk about mine. Okay. And so Proverbs chapter 4, verse 12 in the Passion Translation says this: your progress will have no limits when you come along with me, and you will never stumble when you walk along the way. And so when you think about, I wrote a poem in February of 2022, and then I came across this scripture approximately in May of 2022. And I thought, this is okay. What have I tapped into? What's happening here? Because when you start to tap into your potential and who you are, all of the things that you're desiring will begin to be attracted to you. Okay. And so here it is, and the excitement and the joy I began to have, it's like, wait a minute, my values and my belief system are starting to align, and my business and the things I'm starting to write, everything is starting to do what? Unlock my brilliance. And so that's what's going to happen for you if you choose to tap into it. And so living a limitless life requires the alignment of your values and your belief system. You cannot get there. You cannot unlock that brilliance when there is a misalignment in that space. So now I want to transition a little bit, talk about what it means to be a limitless leader. So type in the chat, when you hear the phrase limitless leader, what does that mean to you? And I'll give you, the scripture was, Elizabeth, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 12 in the Passion Translation. So type in the chat for the rest of you what it means to be a limitless leader. And as we consider that, as I watch for your answers to come in, let's think about dreams. You know, will you achieve your dream in your lifetime? Right? I'm a thinker. I ask lots of questions. That's why I'm a coach. I hope you will, or I believe you will. Do you hear the difference when I say that? What is your dream, and will you achieve it in your lifetime? I think you can. If you decide that you will do it, you will. If you choose not to, then that choice is yours. So to come back to some comments here, so I see, so what does it mean to be a limitless leader? No cap, no boundaries, leave nothing on the table. I'm unstoppable. Listen to that language. Does that in and of itself not fire you up and get you all excited and motivated to move forward? It certainly does for me. And so when we think about our living a limitless life, being unstoppable, tapping into whoever it is that I am designed or created to be, whoever it is I want to be, what is it about your dreams that's keeping you bound? Are you willing to put your dream to the test? I hope so. Type in the chat, I'm willing. Because I'm really not giving you much of a choice today. Okay? Type in the chat, I am willing. Are you willing to put your dreams to the test? Are you willing to become a limitless leader? Because if you are, okay, I see him coming in, playing full out. I am willing. I am willing to put my dreams to the test. I am willing to do the visioning exercise for my life, for my health, for my home, for my business, for my career. I am willing to do this work and invest the time. And so if you're willing, with the right tools, you can get there. So here's what we know. Many of us live with these internal blocks. These things that are keeping us from getting to the place that we desire to be. And it's causing us to actually internally be oppressed and distressed. And we may not even be aware of it, right? It's unconscious. It is an unconscious response. I'm seeing your comments come in, limitless, no limit to what I can do. Exactly. Oh, Facebook user said, I'm willing. Appreciate that. So when we look at this idea, where is all of this coming from? Dr. Bruce Schneider, who is a psychologist, he states that our thoughts determine our feelings and emotions, and our feelings and emotions shape our actions. So let me say that again. Our thoughts determine our feelings and emotions, and our feelings and emotions shape our actions. So when we think about living and leading a limitless life, it requires us to do an assessment of our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. Why? Because they impact our actions. So what are you thinking? Why are you thinking that way? What are you feeling? Where did those feelings originate? Where did they come from? What emotions have you attached to it? Quick story, a couple weeks ago, I was in a meeting with our sales team. We aren't hitting numbers, and give you a little backstory. We're not hitting the numbers for my particular area, but yet they keep asking for more marketing materials, asking for more tools and resources. And I had made a decision, had spoken with my leader, my boss, about a particular situation. And in the meeting, he asked me the question about the very thing we had already talked about. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all, this is my area. If we've already discussed it, we should not be discussing it again. And so I'm working on that, okay? I'll admit, I'm working on it. But when he asked me the question, it was a trigger. I didn't know how much of a trigger until the next thing happened. Someone else began to speak while I was speaking, and I had paused for a thought to form in my mind, and they began to speak. And I raised my voice, and then I realized, whoa. You have gone too far. Thankfully, I have a leader who's a great leader. He said, pause. And he just paused everybody in the room. And I didn't say anything else for a second. He asked another question. I proceeded to answer the question. But you do know, I had to go back and deal with what was it that caused that trigger for me? Where was that emotion? What was that? What resonated? I was like, oh, I don't like being talked over. I don't like being interrupted when I'm talking. Well, where did that come from? If you Black out here, I know we got some of our white brothers and sisters with us today, but I'm just going to I want you to think about your childhood and how many times you were told you do not speak when other people are talking, and how that reaction, if you did interrupt your parents when they were talking, or your grandparents, or whoever might have been the person raising you, what would happen? Yep, that's exactly what happens, right? Same thing here, right? That's what would happen. And so I had this moment, and I had to recollect. And so I had to decide that I have to live with intentionality. But I can't do that without recognizing, and neither can you. You have to recognize where those triggers are in your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. Every coach on here, that is what they are coaching you toward, to grow forward as it relates to your thinking, your feelings, and your emotions in the area that's specific to you. For us today, we're talking about leadership and about self-leadership. So living limitless requires that you have that vision for your life, that vision or dream for your life. And whatever that is, let it be something that you are working toward. You've got to take massive action. John Maxwell has a book, and I'm a certified John Maxwell team member, entitled Put Your Dreams to the Test. And he says in the book, dreams are valuable commodities. They propel us forward. They give us energy. They make us enthusiastic. Everyone ought to have a dream. But what if you're not sure whether you have a dream you want to pursue? Maybe you don't know what your dream is yet. Maybe you're not sure what energizes you. Many people were not encouraged to dream growing up. This is still from his book. Others have dreams but lose hope and set them aside. So when we set things, Libby said you probably get slapped. Yep, you're right. and virtually that slap was me raising my voice. It causes you to feel devalued and disrespected. Yes. So when we think about our dreams, many of us weren't allowed to dream. Just like we were over here getting slapped if we thought we could say something to our elders in a particular situation, right? Many of us weren't allowed to dream. Or if we had a dream, it was sort of met with a lot of resistance. No, you need to get in them books. So maybe you were an artist. And I heard this a lot in my growing up in my environment. You know, if people were very creative, nope, you need to get that good job. You need to go to university and get that good job. You know, over here, the post office pays well and this. And my husband works at the Postal Service, so there's no shade here. But these are things that we would hear. And even though our heart would be pulling us in one direction, right? Because our potential is there, right? It's untapped and it's drawing. It's trying to draw the thing that you are supposed to be doing to you. But if you're getting resistance in your life, you're not able to move it forward. And so you'll set the dream aside. And I know some of you, I know it, I can feel it. Some of you have set dreams aside on this live, and I am telling you, it is time to go get your dream. It is time to live your dream. In fact, I know it so well because next weekend I'm going to a conference called Live Your Dreams and with my coach. And so living your dreams is here. It is time for you to live your dreams. There is no other time but the present time. Whether there's a recession, because I hear that. I hear the recession comment in somebody's head. Well, it's about to be a recession. No, don't. That's an excuse. Because you want to know what I know? Most millionaires are made during times like this when there's a recession. So that is just an excuse. You got to figure out, again, taking massive action and what's going to move you forward. Because without a dream, living a limitless life is going to be challenging for you because there's no vision. And where there's no vision, the people shall perish. It's the reason I began our conversation with the visioning exercise for us today. And so a dream, what is a dream? Let's clarify. A dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions, and requires activation of your intellect and imagination. I'm going to say it again. What is a dream? A dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, it energizes your will, it energizes your emotions, and requires activation of your intellect and your imagination. You do not have a dream if you are not energized by it and you are not activated to go research it and to study it out and to begin to vision it out, right? To frame it up. What does it look like? And begin to talk about what it looks like. Dreams empower you in everything you do, and you're willing to put everything you've got into achieving it. Me, I am here today because I wanted to offer so much value to you. I stayed up and rewrote this entire presentation, which is why the PowerPoint doesn't work, because everything about it says, I want you to succeed. I need you to unlock your limitless brilliance. I need you to tap into that potential that's on the inside of you and grow forward so that the rest of the world can begin to tap into their potential. And imagine what begins to happen if we're all doing what we are called to do and how we're going to grow forward. So what gets in the way of this, right? Not only did we know there's limitations with our untapped potential and what gets in the way, but here we are, what gets in the way of living and leading a limitless life? So I grew up, I'm going to shorten this a little bit. I grew up in an environment where I was told constantly I would grow up to be barefoot and pregnant by the time I was 17. Why? Because my mother had me at 17. And she didn't get to finish high school because I was born in April and graduation is in May. Makes sense, right? She ultimately got her GED and she now has a master's degree. There's a whole positive side to this. But growing up and hearing in my life that, you know, I was big boned, that I'd never amount to anything, and only being recognized when I was smart intellectually, right? What kind of framework? It becomes a recipe for living a limited life. Because as long as I stayed within the framework that everybody gave me, you know, as long as I stayed smart, as long as I stayed in the box that people created for me, that was sufficient. And if I made a mistake, I would then not just feel like a failure, not feel like I failed, but I would feel like a failure. And so therefore making mistakes was not allowed in my life. And if I did, then I wouldn't feel good enough and I'm not ready. And all of these different things began to play out in my life. And so when I got a therapist and a coach, and I know this is the coaches conference, but you need both, in my opinion, if you have trauma from your past that you need to deal with. And trauma, like a lot of things, by the way, trauma could include if you had health issues when you were on a particular job, right? I know many people. I worked in the HR space and talent development, and I partner with our HR business partners often. And people were having physical stress and health-related responses to the work environment. And literally, unless the doctor told them to take off, I'm one of those people, by the way, a doctor has to say to me, you've got to take off or you're going to kill it. And what did it for me was being pregnant with my oldest son and almost losing him, not once, but twice, because I wouldn't slow down. And the stress was literally putting too much stress on the pregnancy because I was under so much stress, right? So health challenges that hinder us, but being able to tap into the environment that you need to help you get out of that stress, to shed this stress, being able, you know, the trauma, that's what I was talking about. Trauma also could look like, you know, you actually had something happen to you as a child, not just the words or the emotional trauma, but there could have been physical trauma. And that could not just as a child, but even as an adult, right? COVID caused a lot of trauma for people. And so we're seeing that play out in the workplace. All of that coupled together means coaches, we coach forward. We're not coaching back. If you need to go back and heal something, you might need to talk to a therapist to help you deal with your past. Okay. So with that, when we coach you forward, we're coaching you. I use the phrase grow forward. So I'm coaching you to grow forward. It doesn't mean I can't help you address something from the past. But when we're coaching, when we're in that relationship, we're walking through what is limiting you. And here's what I found as a coach that limits people. These are the 5 traits of a limited leader that I've seen. Distrust of self, meaning you can't rely upon yourself to do what you say you're going to do. You lack integrity with yourself. And because of that, you're always compromising what you need and putting others first. Remember that example I used earlier? That was on purpose. Number 2, internal conflict. Remember, we saw that in untapped potential. We heard that earlier. But you will create internal disagreements that keep you questioning whether or not you can or will be able to grow forward and become what you want. Whether or not that vision of writing that book or growing your network can actually happen. You will question it. Number 3, inconsistent action. Lacking the commitment and discipline to move yourself forward because you are warring against yourself constantly, keeping you and others uncertain of who you are. So you're uncertain yourself. I invite you today to be reintroduced to yourself. Number 4, lack of confidence needed to pursue your dreams. We've seen, I think it was Libby and a couple of other people who talked about confidence out here. Go get a confidence coach to help you, because it takes confidence to talk about your dream and even more confidence to actually pursue it and go after it. And sometimes confidence or lack thereof separates the people who dream and pursue their dreams from those who don't. And number 5, a closed mind. no one in and sometimes no one out. I am a loyalist, so I will hold on. It's like if you use a certain brand of toothpaste when you were a kid, and you just love that toothpaste, and then the doctor says you need to use a different brand of toothpaste because your teeth are sensitive, and you're like, nope, I won't do it. You just keep injuring yourself. Your mind is closed, and you're injuring yourself. You're holding your life hostage. And the experience is because you just refuse to change. You refuse to open up your mind and your imagination to something new and different. Imagination is the soil that brings your dreams to life. And if you keep your mind closed, then your imagination is not free to flow. So no matter what your age is or the condition of your life today, there are still, hear me, still untapped possibilities within you and new beauty waiting to be born outside of you. And we are all waiting on you. In the work environment, I am waiting for the leader who's going to step up, the person who's ready to take on more so I can delegate. We heard that earlier. I'm waiting for the person who's found joy within themselves, because then in that joy comes from within, then there's confidence that comes, right? For the leader who's out here, who's ready to build relationships and network, you got to know who you are and have relationship building skills in order to do that. That's what the four of us ladies was on here talking about just a little bit ago. And if you want to write books and be on stages, then you need the first group of panel members that were here are ready and here to help coach you through it. But you got to be willing to do what we say. So how do you grow forward? From limited to limitless living. I like to ask questions. So these are the 3 questions that I would say you ask. And within those 3 questions, I'm going to give you some tips. So the first question I would ask is, what gives you energy? What excites you? You have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to other people, because they're going to be telling you, man, you're so good at that. And you're like, I don't like it. Let me just pause, parenthetically insert here. If you don't like it, but you're good at it, that might be the starting point. It doesn't mean you have to stay there. It just means you might need to start there. Start with what you're good at. Listen to yourself. Listen to others. Allow yourself to feel and heal. Feel and heal. Many times we haven't allowed ourselves, and especially in the Black community, to feel the emotions of trauma. We haven't allowed ourselves to feel the emotions of things. And so as a result, we cannot heal because we're stuck in this place. And until we feel the emotion fully, in many cases, and this is where you might need a therapist, but as a coach, I often cause people to cry, not because, don't take that the wrong way, not because I'm being mean or hard, but because we tap that place in them where there needs to be this allowing of feeling and healing. And many times my corporate professionals, especially that I coach, often say to me, I never cry. And I go, I should have warned you, because usually I forget to tell people, but I'm telling y'all now. So if you end up working with me, you are forewarned. Okay. But when we're coaching, we're getting into those places, because everywhere you go, there you are. And how you show up in one environment is how you're showing up at work. How you show up at work is how you're showing up at home, how you're showing up in the community, how you show up in your church environment if you go to church, how you show up when you're volunteering, how you coach if you're a sports coach, right? It shows up everywhere. So everywhere you go, there you are. So allow yourself to feel and heal and explore the places that are blocking you. So that's the what gives you energy, what excites you, doing those things. Question number 2, I would ask, how do you take ownership for your life? Number 1, you got to be willing to bet on yourself. No one else can do that for you. I have a great husband, a great life partner, my spouse. And for a while there, he did have to pump me up. And there may be a season where you need some additional someone to pump you up. But you really can't succeed if you don't believe in yourself. Nobody can do that. So you got to be willing to bet on yourself. That's how you begin to take ownership. Number 2, you got to lead your life instead of just accepting it. Right? Many of us just accept what happened to us, but we don't actually take it back. You can take your life back. Do it right now if you want to, by making the right decisions for you, right? Cutting off all other options. If you say you're going to save $1,000, then there is no eating out at McDonald's this week, or whatever your vice is, shopping on Shein.com, or investing in the next class. Until you have that $1,000 in your account, there is no other option. You have to say nope. When money comes in, expected or unexpected, until I have $1,000 saved up, then no other options are available to me. And if you're a business owner, let's be clear, you do need to have a savings. Here's my rule for saving for money with business. I save 70%. Let me rephrase. I sow 10%. Because I'm a tither. I return a tithe on my business and everything that comes in. I save 20%. Why? Because there's a thing called taxes, and you're going to have to pay them whether you want to or not. And number 3, the 70%, that's what we can reinvest into the business. And sometimes I'll say I can only reinvest 35% of that, and the other 35% has to stay in the account. Why? Because that's how you grow your finances in business. And this also applies in your personal life if you would choose to take it for yourself. How do you take ownership? Love what you do and do what you love, right? Successful people, those who see and seize opportunities and their dreams and pursue them, they love what they do and they do what they love. You hear that in them. They allow their passion and their talents to guide them, because talent, purpose, and potential always go hand in hand. Number 4, don't compare yourself to others. How do you take ownership? Don't compare yourself to others. We already talked about that. And believe in your vision for your future. You got to believe in that. If success is not on your own terms, I can say, here's what success would look like if you do X, Y, and Z. Taria could say it. Any one of the other ladies and gentlemen on this call today in this conference could say it for you. But if you don't actually believe it for yourself, it doesn't matter. Because what feels good to your soul may not be good for you. And so the potential exists within you. And it's limitless, y'all. It is limitless. It is untapped. You have so many things on the inside of you that are largely untapped, but all you have to do is create them. No one can do that for you. The third question I would ask myself is, what dreams would I accomplish if I had no limitations? So I want you to type that in the chat. What would you accomplish if you had no limitations on your life? What would you do? For me personally, I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, full time, all the time. Encouraging, motivating, inspiring others, and coaching them to grow forward and unlock their limitless brilliance. That's what I'd be doing. What would you be doing if your life had no limitations? No limitations. What would you be doing? So here are some additional tools. And I know I have dropped a lot. I hope y'all are catching all of this. It's fresh off the presses. But here are some things, tools and tips. Implement an integrity injunction. What is that? So according to Cornell Law, because I like reading a lot of different things, an injunction is a court order requiring a person to do or cease doing a specific action. So when I say implement an integrity injunction, I am saying cease not honoring your commitments to yourself or your children or others in your life. Implement an integrity injunction. Once you've implemented your injunction, take progressive, massive action to complete the things that align with your values, and stop doing things that don't align with who you are, your personal mission, your values, or your business mission or values or goals, right? Because even in business, even in corporate, right, we're always looking at our goals. And my job as an operations leader is to say, hey, how does that fit with strategy? So I get to ask that question all the time. And I had to start asking it of myself. Hey, Latanya, how does that align? How does saying yes to this particular project align with your values? How does it align with the mission of your company? How does it align with the goals that you have that you've set for yourself this year? If it doesn't fit within those things, then you have to say no, or be willing to say no to those things, or to let them go. This is where we've been talking about collaborating and referring others today. This is where you might need to collaborate or refer someone. I refer people. What you don't know is I used to be a publisher. I don't do that. That is not my gift mix. Nope. But I did it for a season. And when I found Taria, do you know how fast I started referring people to her? Immediately. Here you go. You want to do a book? Contact Taria. Let me let her know that I sent you. And I would start referring people. And I've done it many times over. As someone starts talking to me like, I see that you wrote a book. How did you do that? Oh, I went through the boot camp. I joined Book Profits Club. That's what I did, right? I see that you went through this program. So be an ambassador, be an advocate for other people. You don't have to do all of this yourself. Do what you're good at. Tame your thoughts. I'm borrowing the words from my pastors who talked about this. To do that means you need to have an anchor or a foundation in something bigger than yourself. For me, that anchor and foundation is in the Word of God, my Bible, and in Jesus himself. For you, it might be something different. You must also practice saying the opposite of any thought that is contrary to the plans for your life. If you know, and here's what I mean. If I said to you, and if I were holding up I'm holding a bottle of water, okay? But if I tried to convince you that this was Sprite, right? And in your head, you're like, that's a Sprite. And I'm like, it's a bottle of water. But somehow you got it in your mind that it's a Sprite. You have to open up your mouth. And I teach this to my clients all the time. You have to open up your mouth and actually speak the direct opposite of what is being said. If I used to battle suicide. So when thoughts would come up, and it took me years, but I'm not there. I don't deal with it anymore. Praise the Lord. I don't deal with it anymore, but I can always sense the spirit of it. And so when suicide shows up and it's like someone wants to take their life, it's like, no, your life is valuable. You are loved. You are beloved, right? You have to open up your mouth and say the direct opposite. If you're on the job dealing with imposter syndrome, you're like, I don't belong here. That happened to me when I became an executive officer. I was like, I don't even know how I got here. I don't belong here. I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. All of these thoughts, right? Imposter syndrome. I don't belong here. Okay. You know what? If you're here, you belong here. I actually had the privilege of meeting Sarah Alter, who is the outgoing president of what is now known as Next Up, formerly known as the Network of Executive Women. And she said that to me. I was battling this. This was in 2018. I just had my third child. I was invited to be one of their leadership coaches. And it was my first year with them. And I was standing at the door, had no idea who that was and who she was at all. And as we were talking, I must have said out loud, I don't belong here. And she looks at me dead in my eye and she says, if you're here, you belong here. So that's what you have to do in order to grow forward. So to work with me, so I'm going to give you this offer today because I hope that you found this valuable. I hope that you got a lot of nuggets. It was so much information, I know, but I wanted to offer as much value to you as I could. So if you are here today and you're listening to my voice, you have an opportunity to work with me. If you go, this is the only day I'm offering it at this low price for $97, y'all. That's $600 off my regular price. For $97, you can work with me for 75 minutes. You're going to take an assessment, and it's the Energy Leadership Index assessment. We're going to look at where your energy leaks are, where you have some gaps, what is causing you some stress. And then we're going to spend 60 minutes walking through that and talking about coaching. To work with me and take advantage of this offer, you're going to use the code COACH. COACH, and you're going to go to LatanyaJackson.com. It's right there on the screen, /ELI. It is $97 until 11:59 p.m. tonight. Okay. It is a 75-minute session with me. We'll use your scores from the ELI assessment. So you have to actually complete the assessment first. It will provide some insights into how you show up in various areas of your life. It will measure your potential leadership ability by your level of consciousness and your awareness about who you are and what your life is about. When we finish the assessment, we'll talk about whether or not it's a good fit for us to work together. So $97, I will tell you, you can only get this from an Energy Leadership Index master practitioner, of which I am certified. And no other place that I've seen will you ever get this offer for this low. So $97, use code COACH, go to LatanyaJackson.com /ELI. All right. After today, the price will start to increase. So if you go to the site and use the code after 11:59 tonight, it's going to be a new price point. All right. So I don't walk, but I hope you run over to the site and get your assessment purchased. And then I'll send some emails out and get you connected. All right. Thank you all for engaging. If you have any questions, I will be doing a workshop a bit later. It was my privilege to be here with you. Thank you. Please go and begin to unlock your limitless brilliance. Taria, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Latanya. That was incredible. And I just want to shout out the chat. You guys have been plugging in. Betsy says, so much great information. Thank you. Simone says, very informative. Loretta says, amen. Stay and do the opposite of the negatives. Hello. Honey, I always say, listen, if it is opposite of what I desire, I don't speak it, I don't see it, I don't live it, I don't do it. Okay? So amen to that. Manetta says, affirmation. Dr. Oliver says, mouth open, speaking, this is good. And he's got the gift. By the way, y'all know how to do y'all gifts in there, right? You can click on the little gift icon and add your special gift. Matter of fact, this is what I want y'all to do. I want you to click down there in the chat space and click on the gift and click on a gift that describes how this conference has been thus far. Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and keep things rocking and rolling. We have another one of our sponsors that is on today. And so I am so excited. I saw him pop in. I was like, whoop, all right. So you guys, this is an incredible sponsor as well that is going to be speaking. Again, like I told you, what we did in this project is we offered individuals an opportunity to have an entire chapter. So he also has a chapter that is going to be in the Coaches Collaboration. Side note, if you're watching on social, you want to register here, make sure that you register here by going to thecoachescollaboration.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman right here that we're bringing on, he is a speaker, he is a coach, he is an author. He is also a TEDx speaker, honey. I was looking at his website. It looks very, very, very nice. On top of that, he has his own podcast. And on today, guys, he's going to be bringing you guys some additional value. So without further ado, and I hope I say this right. I think I'm going to say this right. I'm pretty sure I asked him this on the call before, but don't charge it to my heart. Just charge it to my head. It's doing too much. Y'all, let's give it up for David Kametsky.
Hey, thank you so much for that introduction. I've been so excited this whole morning listening to everybody. It's really exciting. It's everybody's saying so many amazing things. And, being a sponsor, I really just want to support everybody and be part of it. Being part of the collaboration is always great. You always want to surround yourself with the right people who are going to pick you out and lift you up. That's the most important part, is lifting ourselves up. That's why when I had my book, my first book last year came out, when your heart says it's time to soar. And that's the real trick, is when your heart says it's time to soar. In the chat, I'd like to see, because I'm watching on my phone also, put who wants to have their heart to soar. What are you desiring? I mean, I just heard, we were just powered up. We want to have all the different things to kind of soar and lift ourselves up. And that's what all these coaches do. We've learned the things. I've been coaching, mentoring for the past almost 10 years at this point. Time flies when you're having fun. And what really happens is we still have challenges. How do we overcome them? And that's why our coaches need coaches, because you need to keep pushing yourself. You don't want to be in the box. Think about it in life. When we talk about being in the box, there's only one box you're going to be in, and that's at the end of your life. And at the cemetery, those boxes are usually filled with dreams that were not kept, or ideas that were not fulfilled. I know anybody who's on this conference is not going to want that. That's why you got to push yourself. Find the right coaches. I would love to talk to you. I think one of the gifts that I've given is a half hour of my time, which is usually about $500. So meet me a half hour. And one of the real gifts that I want to teach everybody, I teach it all the time. So if you've seen it, just remember it. Because sometimes we need that, is if you rub your hands nice and slow for about 30 seconds, usually about 10 seconds it generates, but 30 seconds, you're going to automatically calm yourself down. You could do that wherever you are. And that's just where the magic begins. When we can calm ourselves, ground ourselves, that's where we start to soar. We find the right path. And when we're walking fast enough on that right path, we're learning our strengths. And having that really takes us to that new soar. Now, you had mentioned also about my podcast, that peace, love, and bring a bat. What really that means is bringing an awesome thought. Every day, whatever you're doing, I want you to bring an awesome thought to your own life. Change whatever negativity you might feel to an awesome thought, and you'll be able to switch all of your mindset. You'll be able to do a lot more, because being awesome today is really it's so important. I know we're running back on time, so I want to give you back the time. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak a little bit. Anybody who wants to reach out to me, I would love to just have a conversation or show how far I can get you to soar.
Oh, well, thank you so much, David. It has been a pleasure having you to be a part of this collaboration project. And make sure, David, also, we're doing a raffle. So I wanted to see, did you have anything you wanted to add into the raffle? Y'all, I've been putting everybody on the spot and asking them. So let me bring it back to you, David, if you have anything you want to add to our raffle giveaway.
Yeah, so the raffle giveaway, really everybody gets is the half hour. But if anybody wants a copy of my book, an autographed copy of my book, I'll be more than happy to send that. So you can add that to the raffle, an autographed copy of my book, When Your Heart Says It's Your Time to Soar. It's a great story. It's inspirational, and you can read it any way you want. It's a quick read, and it really is impactful.
Well, thank you, David. I love it. I love the topic that you talk on. I can't remember if you and I were talking about this, just the conversation that you speak on, especially as a man. I think it is powerful, and I am so grateful that you have shared your time with us here. Make sure y'all hit them up. Now, this is what I will tell you. For those of you who are registered and those of you who showed up live, so everybody who registered and showed up live, all of our amazing coaches and speakers that have been offering raffles, they're going to be connecting with you too. So as long as you're here live, so you got to register, but then you also have to show up. Okay. So look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do another raffle, and then we're going to get ready for our last interview. Now, it's supposed to be a panel, but how many of you guys know that sometimes life happens, right? So our panel, is not a full panel. It's going to be more of an interview, okay? So I'm looking forward to this conversation, unless we do get another one of our amazing authors on. So 1 second real quick. I just want to make sure. And guys, drop in the chat space the emojis again. I did see some of y'all emojis, matter of fact. Never mind. I'm sorry. Let me see. Y'all dropped some really good emojis in the chat too. I see y'all. Dr. Oliver, as soon as y'all start typing, it's going to pop up. Look, Dr. Oliver, Latanya, Danella, Wanda, Tina, Tanisha, and Sharon, Renetta, Manetta, Libby. Oh my God, the elephant jumping. Oh my goodness, where'd you find that? Elizabeth, Pat, Simone, you guys are putting some really dope gifts in the chat. I love to see the images in the chat, so it's always fun. But you know what, guys, we're gonna get ready to do this giveaway. So as we get ready, I'm gonna play 2 commercials, and then we will be right back, and then we're gonna have our last panel, and then the breakout workshops. Okay, so the breakout workshops is a totally different link, and I did it this way because I wanted to make it easier for our speakers and coaches to be able to record their breakout workshop. Because if you are a VIP, you're going to get the replay of every single one of the workshops. Okay, so make sure that you guys go ahead and check your emails. Within the next few minutes, we sent out an email that we'll share with you guys. How many of y'all got the email? If y'all got the email or the text message, let me know that you got it so that you can come to the private breakout workshops. And also, I had somebody that was asking me about how, because we about to do some giveaways, y'all. So we're going to do one more giveaway after the panel. So I had some people that were asking about how do you set up your profile. All right, so I'm going to give you some specific instruction. You're going to type into the chat space. Okay, when you type into the chat space, if you are on a computer, now on your phone, I think it may be different, but you might still be able to click on your name. When you type into the chat space, if you hover over your name or click on your name, it's going to pop up. Okay, y'all got the email? Good. It's going to pop up and say, hold on, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what it's going to say. So I just typed in the chat space. It says see profile. So you can click on that, or you could just click on it again, and then a pop-up will display that says edit profile. There you can add your LinkedIn, you can add your Facebook, all of your social handles, you can add your picture, your short bio. And the great thing is that if you ever come to another one of our events on AirMeet, which by the way, I love this software. This is all that I do. I only love using this software for conferences because it's so much that you could do with it. You'll have your profile already set up in there, right? Well, I think because I didn't make you guys register to come into Air Meet. But set up your profile, y'all. You just never know, because I'm going to keep this thing open. After we finish our workshops, we're going to keep this thing open so you guys can network. There's another cool thing that you could do in here. So we're going to keep this thing open for you guys. Okay. So please, please, please make sure that you do that. All right. So let me play 2 commercials. We'll be back and do the giveaway. And then I'm going to bring up our last guest for our panel discussion. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? Okay. Be right back.
Hey, so my name is Shanine. I'm an author coach and I'm the CEO of Reaching While Teaching. And I just want to come on here real quick to tell you guys about my experience with Taria of the Book Profits Club, y'all. So I partnered with Taria on a collaboration book project and she delivered. Okay, so from the idea to bringing it to life, everything, y'all. So I had a vision. I knew what I wanted to do, and I know how it's like publishing books and the process and everything. So I was like, you know what? Let me take some weight off my shoulders. So I partnered with her, and when I tell you she delivered, she delivered. So she was able to create, her team was able to create an amazing book cover. Her team was able to create capture pages. So my authors, which was 12 of them, right? They were able to basically, get pre-orders, get pre-sales before everything started. She did an amazing virtual launch, y'all. People still talking about it to this day, right? So it was just an amazing experience. Everything was organized, and listen, she helped us make that impact with the book, which I'm all about, and profit.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? So how many of you guys like free? Well, I don't know about you, but I don't mind getting something for free if I can. But the truth is nothing is for free, right? But this is what we're doing. Today is the Coaches Conference, and we are live. All you have to do, guys, is register by going to thecoachescollaboration.com. Now, when you register and you join us live over in Air Meet, you're going to qualify to win some of these amazing giveaways. Microphones, we got phone stands, flat screen TVs, all types of goodies, okay? But all you have to do is be registered and alive. So showing up for success. They say that 90% of success is literally showing up. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I have seen this over the several years that I've been coaching since 2009. I have seen the reason why many people do not have the level of success that they deserve is because they simply do not show up for their success. They don't show up for themselves. I have been doing giveaways and conferences for years, and people absolutely win some amazing prizes, and they're not there to claim the winning. I have been doing coaching for years. People are not getting the opportunities for clients because they're not available. And so listen, register and show up. What are we doing on a Saturday morning where we could walk away with some amazing prizes and at the same time, amazing knowledge from our amazing coaches? So go to the Coaches Conference. I'm sorry, thecoachescollaboration.com. Lord Jesus, thecoachescollaboration.com. Register, and I'll see you guys there. Can I say something real quick, y'all? Because as I was watching the commercial, I was just like, one thing I will say that I am so grateful about myself is I don't care about not being perfect. Is that how you say? I don't care about being perfect? There we go. I don't care about being perfect. And what I mean by that, it's okay if we mess up. And I think a lot of times, many of us, you're getting this great information from these amazing coaches. We have learned so much today. And a lot of us, what we're doing is we're like, okay, well, I'm going to wait until everything get perfect. Or I'm going to wait until I'm able to do this. Or I'm going to wait until I got to wait till I at least get this certification. I was talking to someone the other day and she was telling me, oh, well, Taria, I'm waiting on getting my certification. I was like, all certifications were made up. Somebody made them up. Who made it up? The person that said, you know what, I'm qualified because I experienced this. The end of the day, every single one of us are certified to do something that can change our lives. Whether it's, be able to position yourself on the workspace, which by the way, and to anybody that is watching this live, when I used to be in the home-based business industry, we would put such a heavy emphasis on being, working a job like that was a bad thing. And unfortunately, we had people that were, quitting their jobs, like career jobs, though, like high paying jobs to do the industry. And I was like, ain't no way. The most I ever made in corporate was $26,000 a year. Okay. But today, moving forward, one thing that I have come to learn is that there are some people like my father. I think about my father, may he rest in peace. He loved his job. He loved his career. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with being in a career that you love, but staying in the same place that's a problem. And so for those of you guys that are listening to our coaches, what are you doing so that you can elevate and grow even in your career? You don't need to wait till it's the right time. Start taking action today. For those of you who are entrepreneurs, when are you going to go ahead and take action so that you can go to the next level? These coaches that we have here for the Coaches Conference, the reason why we have them before you is because many of you may need them for the next level. You know, I'm a big advocate as well for investing into coaches based upon the specific challenge that I'm having. And I know Dr. Latanya was talking about this. Yes, I'm big on, but don't nobody know what that means. Who do you help? How do you help them? What's your transformation? Oh, you know, I dig down deep into the inner purpose being of your inner self and help you to overcome the everyday challenge of living life. That's everybody. And one thing I have come to learn about everybody is that nobody is looking for everything. Ooh, some of y'all will catch that when y'all get home. Nobody is looking for everything. And so if your transformation is everything or all things to all people, you ain't got no transformation. So we have to narrow this down. And so when you are looking at what challenge am I having right now? Okay, I'm in a career. I'm ready to climb the ladder. That's the challenge. Hey, I have a business. I want to grow. That's the challenge. Hey, I want to be one of the best speakers and get on more stages. That's the challenge. Hey, I'm ready to write my story. That's the challenge. Hey, I need a planner and a journal. That's the challenge. I want to develop my leadership skills. That's the challenge. And so for every specific challenge that you have, if you don't know how to create the solution, that's where you do what? You get a coach. Hello? You get a coach to help you. Now, some coaches are shorter. You're going to be working with your coach for a shorter period of time than you would for a longer period of time. But for every single person here that has a specific challenge and you want to be able to get over that challenge and you don't have the solution, you don't know how to do it, that's when you hire a coach. And that is why we have the Coaches Conference. Well, listen, let's go ahead and do this giveaway because I'm running my mouth. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, y'all know I get hype. If anybody has ever seen me before, you know I get hype. I get on a tangent. Let me shout out some of the other additional giveaways because I did not give my good friend Betsy a chance to share. I forgot. I'm trying to Betsy people. Is Betsy in the chat? Because, child, I need some of this anyways. So I'm going to email you so I can get my link, child. I'm trying to lose about 10 pounds, okay? Now, I know if I would push away from wine, I might be able to lose some of it. But I don't know. I need some alternatives. I need some help. So Betsy has a plant-based protein powder with pumpkin spice flavor. Baby, I love pumpkin spice lattes. I love anything pumpkin flavored. I just don't like pumpkins. And so this sounds so good. And 2 packs, not packies, but packs of superfoods. Hey. And then 2 packets, that's what it is. Packets of brain booster. Baby, I need all of that. I need some brain booster. I need some superfood and I need some protein powder. So she has added that in to the giveaways as well. So we're going to shuffle this thing on up and let's go ahead and shuffle up our list. Guys, you still have a chance to win. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to do all of the giveaways live because we got to get to our speakers. But what I will do is I'll do a separate broadcast with everybody who qualified. You have to have at least 150 points on the leadership board. Okay. So y'all need to get y'all points out. I see y'all pictures. Y'all looking real good too. Elizabeth, honey. Sweetie, I got something that's called Dunlap. I don't know if you ever heard of Dunlap. It's when your stomach Dunlapped over your pants. And we got to get rid of it. Okay, I can't be out here, talking about, I'm about to meet my husband, honey. I got to get the Dunlap gone. That's just my personal preference. Some people like Dunlap. I don't want the Dunlap. All right, so let me shuffle this up. Let's go ahead and spin for this win. Child, just no music. I meant to put music on here. All right. Sharon Hudgens Beck. Is Sharon here in the house? Is Sharon in the house? Sharon in the house. Now, if Sharon is in the house, Sharon, it's time to spin for your win, okay? Sharon is a part of the Book Profits Club family, too, so I want to shout her out. Whoop, whoop. BPC in the house. Let's go ahead and spin for her win. What did she win? Can y'all hear the music? Hey. What? Sharon. Child, she done won my gift. The plant-based protein powder. You see what happened when you talk up something real good? So Sharon, you done won this incredible gift. She's here. Sharon says, I'm here, honey. I need my protein powder. So congratulations, Sharon. Ooh, girl, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You won, but I'm going to get me some, and we're going to share our notes. We're going to share our results together. Okay, Sharon? All right, you guys. Well, listen, we have one more panel. Actually, well, y'all know how it is. Sometimes the panels, they update. And so we have one more panel, and this is one of our, it's actually going to be kind of like an interview, if that's okay with y'all. So this is one of our incredible authors as well, who is just doing some amazing things. And so I can't wait for you guys to get a chance to learn more about what he is doing. So I'm going to bring him up in just a second, guys. But do me a favor. I want you guys, you've been here, for those of you guys who've been here all day, or some of you maybe just chimed in, let us know, what is it that you've learned so far today? What has been exciting about this conference? You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to brag and let people know, you missed out. If you wasn't here, you missed out, baby. So let us have some good bragging points of why this conference was awesome. But we're going to make sure that we make this conference available, of course, to those of you guys who are VIPs. If you upgrade to VIP, you'll definitely get that replay opportunity, right? So go ahead and type in the chat and let folks know, why should they have been, here? You know what I'm saying? Why should they have been here? So let me, hold on one sec, y'all. I'm just making sure. Y'all not, listen, I'm over here background chilling it. Okay, good. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and bring up for now. This is another one of our fellow co-authors, speakers, coaches, super extraordinaire, and men. And highlight to all of the men that plug in and work with women. It's Women's International Month. And I just want to say this as well. I definitely have to say this. I'm sorry. I can't go nowhere without saying this. Men, just because a female is in business and she do biz, don't mean that she don't work with men either. And just because you hear women say they work with women, don't let that deter you neither. I was at an event in New York last week for women. And I saw about 3-4 brothers in there. And those brothers were in there getting as much value as all the women that were there. And so I'm just going to encourage all of my men. Sometimes women, we want to do the things with the camaraderie, but they can't tell you that you can't come. You better show up and pull up. I keep telling the men of Book Prophets Club, apply to these women conferences. You just never know. Because, truth be told, women, we some of the best networking people, and we spend the most money. So I'm just saying. Okay, but y'all, let's give it up to... Let's give it up for Joe Kinley. Everybody, let's give it up. Well, Joe, what's going on? Listen, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. And man, thank you for being a part of this project. And again, I just always have to publicly say, when men do, decide to work with me, listen, I appreciate that. Let's not be children here. Let's keep it real. That doesn't always happen in the world of entrepreneurship. And so I'm grateful to be able to be in a space where I can partner with individuals like yourself. But Joe, go ahead and do us a favor and let everybody know a little bit about who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. My name is Joe Kinley. I'm a college and career coach, psychology instructor for undergraduate students, author, and a workshop speaker. And I do this with a passion because this is something that I really enjoy doing, and then just sharing my message with those who are willing to listen, both students and parents.
Amen. And I love the fact, let me fix this real quick. The coaches collaboration chat. Listen, I woke up super early and still worked late last night and still put the wrong thing. But Joe, okay, so you talked about working with children and you also work with the adults. And I know that you're going to be also doing a breakout workshop. What has intrigued you to want to work with our youth as well, being inclusive with our youth? I talk about being inclusive with men, but being inclusive with our youth, I think, is so important as well. What has encouraged you to do just that?
Well, to be more specific, I work with emerging adults, which does include an adolescent portion of it. So emerging adults is about ages 18 to about 24 years old. Mm-hmm. And I work in a high school full time as well. And with that, I meet a lot of students who are indecisive about the things that they want, which is pretty common. But then you also meet the students that do know what they want. And I question myself, what's the difference in how are some so aware of what they want to do and some are so indecisive? And there are influences that impact those those issues of not being able to decide. And there's some that, like I said, who are so focused, know exactly where they want to go and what are their supports. So when I talk with my students at the high school level, I also remember my times working in higher education as an academic advisor and a director of a college about some of the issues that come in with the supports they have and some that don't. So, but it is important because at this age, the emerging adult demographic, they're about to make some major decisions that will not only impact their lives, but the lives of their families, careers, their communities, and anybody that supports them. So that's why it's important to discuss the issues of decision making with these students.
So I've heard several times that somebody said that today, like or I've heard it before, but I know somebody was talking about decision making today. And I've heard it said several times that, not making a decision is a decision. So I think that what you do speak on, in regards to decision making is important because I swear to goodness, like I hate when folk be like, well, I'm going to choose dinner tonight and what you want. Like that's something as small, but it's very irritating to someone like me because it's like I'm so busy doing a whole lot of decisions during the day. Sometimes I just want somebody to just choose. I don't care, whatever we want to do. But what made you tap into this space? It's such a niche space of decision making. Why is this important to you?
Thinking of my own life and my experiences working with higher education, I was very indecisive earlier. Didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. As far as influences, I used to watch the Cosby Show growing up, and he was a doctor, and I said, well, I want to be a doctor too. But considering that, when I got into college and started taking the courses that were required to be a doctor, some were good, but then I hit those big science courses like chemistries. I said, wait a minute, let me reevaluate my decision. Was I willing to put in the work and the effort to get to where I wanted to go or where I thought I wanted to go? What was the real influence? Was it the money? Was it the passion? I didn't know until I really got into that spot. And I said, man, do I want to invest my time in this because I saw an image that I thought influenced me to do that? It wasn't enough. I needed to find out what my purpose was, what my passion was, in order to say I'm willing to make that investment in myself to take me to where I want to go. And it didn't happen easily. So as a professional going into the counseling realm and psychology realm, I began to say, you know what? I'm not the only one that dealt with these issues. There were others as well. So I wanted to take a minute to write the information that I've experienced and what I've learned and put it in a book and share it with others so maybe it'll impact their lives and make a difference.
Well, I'm really grateful that you decided to be a part of this project and definitely share on your specific topic. And I know that it's going to help a lot of people when it comes to this. Well, you're also going to be doing a breakout workshop as well. If you could tell us what is your workshop about, and I'm going to tell you guys the titles of everybody else's workshop too, but tell us what is your workshop about?
It's about, I have 8 steps that lead you to where your current life disposition is or on the path to where you're going. So it's a decision-making workshop. And I want to share that with whether it's parents, emerging adults, or even those younger, opportunity how to yield the outcomes they want by the decisions that they're making today.
Well, we got one more question. So the final question, Joe, is number 1, tell us how can we get in contact with you? And then also number 2, what's going to be your giveaway in the raffle? What you got?
Sure. I know that's where we're going today. Okay, so LinkedIn.com under Kinley Speaks is the best way to reach me, and then I can respond to you that way. Also, the giveaways that I have are my book, Anatomy of Your Decision Making, along with the digital Amazon gift card.
Wait a minute, I wasn't even ready for that. Come on, Amazon gift card. Yes, but okay, so and you know what I love so much about our authors here is that they definitely, or our coaches here, is that they're authors of multiple books and they saw the power of this particular book. Well, Joe, thank you for being here. You are definitely waiting in the green room, very patient. And I know that, those that come out to your workshop, they're going to learn a lot and enjoy themselves. So we will see you in the breakout. All righty?
All right.
All right. Well, guys, that was our last panel of the day. I do want to make sure that I do shout out. We do have a couple of our other coaches who were not able to make it on today. And so I do, want to make sure that we share and let them know how we miss them. Of course, we had Simone that is a part of our project. We had Deshonda and Suzanne. And so they are also a part of this incredible project, guys, where they are literally telling their expertise and sharing their expertise. Now, this is the deal. Coaches, all of my coaches and speakers, I sent you guys an email of where you're going to go. We're going to be going to a separate Zoom for our breakout workshops. Okay. So we're going to be going to a separate Zoom for the breakout workshop. So you want to make sure that you guys go over there. But I do want to talk to y'all a little bit before we break up, because we're going to be going over there for the workshops. Oh, shucks. We're about to go there right now. But because it's 1:30. Okay, time's become by quick. But I want to let you guys know that we're looking for individuals to be a part of our next project. Okay, so we're looking for individuals, men and women, that want to be a part of this next coaching collaboration project. If you are a coach, a consultant of any kind, all you have to do is be registered for the conference. Okay, go to thecoachescollaboration.com. Okay, go to thecoachescollaboration.com and register for the conference. All right. There's a question in there that's going to ask you if you're interested, because we want to be able to bring good coaches. If it's one thing that I get people asking me all the time is, well, do you have someone you can refer me to? Do you know somebody? Do you know somebody? Because one thing about me, and LaTanya said it best, like, I'm not finna coach you on something that's not my lane. Even if I know how to do it, I feel like if I have to invest time trying to coach you, I'm taking away the energy on the space that I'm in. Dr. Miles Monroe said it best. He said, listen, God gives us a lot of talents and skill sets, but we could make a full-time living as well as live a life of purpose on just focusing on one. We don't, just because we know how to do it all doesn't mean that we need to do it all. This is what the Coaches Collaboration book is all about. So if you are a coach, if you're in the consulting space, if you help teach people, like some people don't want to be called coaches, I don't care what you call me. Just know that I'm helping authors learn how to get the bag. If you're an author or a future author, if you're not an author, you want to write a book, we can connect you to people. We have Dr. Oliver T. Reed here today. We have Patricia Pearson. If you want to get on these stages, you want to be a speaker, we have coaches for that. So make sure that you plug in. All right. So we're 10 minutes over, but we're going to head on over to that private Zoom link, the private Zoom link. So everybody should have got the email. I'm going to send one more reminder. I'm going to join in on there, and we're going to get ready for these breakout workshops. We will also keep this conference open. So if once the workshops are over and you want to come back to the conference and maybe sit at the tables and network and stuff like that, you can do all of that. If you want to plug in and see what more of AirMeet has to offer, it's an amazing software, an amazing tool. Well, guys, I appreciate you for being here. This has been a privilege. This has been an awesome, awesome day. I really know that these workshops are going to take it next level. So don't log out of here. Like, go to the workshop. Guys, plug in. We've been saying we're ready for change. We want things to happen. It's gonna require us plugging in. All right, guys? Well, I haven't said this in a long time, but vision is the art of seeing what's invisible to others. So don't allow people who do not see what you see to break your focus. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, don't you look left, don't you look right. Only stay focused forward on what God has for you. And at the end of the day, my darlings, all will be well. So go over to the Zoom link. I'll see you guys in the breakout workshop. We about to have a good time in the breakout. Holla at you guys later.